Green.
Yeah. Are we ready to do this?
Yeah. Oh, I'm live, by the way. I just hope everyone knows.
Oh, you're live right now.
Now
I know.
Did you all not know that?
How long you been live?
No, we didn't know.
None of you said anything bad. None of the white people said the N word. We're all good.
How long will we
We are
live?
live.
We are live.
Oh my god.
There we go.
Can you all hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Can y'all hear me? I officially got a mic so that no one would send me DMs or comments complaining. So I hope my audio sounds amazing and that everybody really appreciates my personal sacrifice.
It sounds good.
Okay, good.
I'm just gonna turn my mic down.
Just for
turn
my
all of
audience,
y'all
just so you
up.
guys know, I'm mirrored for some reason on my screen. I'll try to fix this next time, but you can see the letters are backwards. But the merch store is now live.
Cool.
Anyone's curious?
Oh yeah. Okay. So maybe
national.com/merch. There you go. Look at that.
You use a green screen, right?
I use a green screen.
Yeah.
What gave it away?
Because I see. Well, you're wearing the shirt. You're wearing.
Oh,
the shirt.
I know. Yeah,
With
it
the green
affects
letters,
the
it's not going to work when you want to promote it on
It
your
works.
show. That's the
It
point
just-
I'm trying to make.
It works, but you see the background.
Oh, I heard. By the way, I heard your promo before we went live when you were on your stream. I got the notification on my on my phone,
What
and the
promo?
great promo you gave us before we all got on was, "Yeah, I'm not going to be here every Thursday. Maybe I will. I don't
That's
know."
not what I said.
No,
That's words in my mouth.
I didn't even
I
see
said
that.
I'll be here every
Better
week
do on
unless I
Thursday.
can't because I have a child. You have kids. You know.
Oh, I got
Things happen.
two, man. I got two.
So how the hell are you streaming till like 2 in the morning? I don't know how you do what you do.
Because they go to bed and they know when daddy closes this door, you shut up and stay in your bedroom.
It's powerful.
So I was gonna say something. I was thinking, what a fun idea might be in these. We don't even know what this is yet. Just that we have fun, like hanging out, shooting shit, talking politics, getting fucked up, all those good things in life. I was gonna say a funny routine might be, because we're playing into the memes. We're saying leftist mafia, talking about the woke mob, canceling all those stuff, using those words that the right wingers, conservatives always say about the left. We do a little thing where we suggest someone that we cancel, because we are the official SJW panel of lefties that get to cancel and uncancel people. This is it. We are the committee. Like everyone talks about that secret committee. We are that committee. So we can pick who is canceled and uncanceled. We each get a choice. And I don't want to put you all on the spot because I already have an idea. I was going to throw this one out. What about Helena Bonham Carter? Because, and here's my justification, she's gone full TERF, which really sucks, and it seems like every British person either has to pick one side or the other. They can be awesome and not be TERFs, or they can be TERFs. Seems like Helena Bonham Carter has gone down that road. Also weird that both the villains, Bellatrix Lestrange and Voldemort, have both turned out to be transphobes. So, yeah.
What?
Wait, I thought
Voldemort
we were...
too?
Yeah, Ralph Fiennes, unfortunately, which sucks. Ralph Fiennes is awesome. I love Ralph Fiennes. Yeah.
I don't know
actually
shit
thought
about
we were
Harry
gonna-
Potter, so you all can do that.
Powerful.
But you know Helena Bonham Carter. Everyone does.
Kanye West is the obvious one.
Well, that's what we're gonna talk about for the entire stream. Obviously, this all anyone can talk about. We're gonna get there. Yeah. What else will we talk about? It's the spectacle of the century.
Kanye West.
Yeah.
Canceled.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought he was already canceled. I thought that was old news.
Okay, I guess it's canceled.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of hearing from Kanye. Oh my God, I'm tired of hearing from Kanye. Like,
Yeah.
good God.
I've got
Somebody
Kanye
take his
fatigue.
phone.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like,
everything
I'm
ramped
sick
up
of it.
tonight. It's like, so you can't ignore it though, right? Like we can't turn away. Like he's Nick Fuentes, the neo-Nazi, is meeting with the president of the United States now. Like shit is getting real. Even if I don't want to like talk about him, it's just like this is the timeline we live in. This is our reality. This is our world now.
Yeah, I saw what Ole was saying, that like somebody said, well, this just shows that Kanye's really fed up. Like, what? How are you still defending him? He went all the way. He straight up said he's a Nazi now. There's no more plausible deniability. He went there. This is the logical conclusion. If you defend him, you are defending a Nazi. I don't get it. Look, I'm a fan of his music too. I was.
We got to be fair here. He didn't say that he was a Nazi. He just said that he
No,
loves
he did.
Nazis.
No,
He said he
no,
was a Nazi?
I like
Yeah,
Hitler.
I think
Wasn't
he
that?
literally said that. Yeah.
Wait,
he said he
I
loved
haven't finished watching it.
Hitler.
I've only gotten as far as the I love Hitler stuff, but like I haven't seen that. I didn't know that. Yeah.
The man, look, let's I need us to not be in the upside down, okay? The man said he likes Hitler. Now let's take, like, if we were, let's say we're in a court of law. Now, if you stand accused of being anti-Semitic, stand accused of disliking Jewish people, and you come out and say, really, yourself to be a fan of the person who commit mass genocide against said people. The man is guilty, okay? The man is guilty, all right? We'll send him to proverbial jail, all right? Like, okay, not real jail. No, nobody try and call me on no inconsistencies. I don't believe anybody should levy any criminal charges against Kanye. But I do want him unable to travel, meet with folk, send text messages, be on the internet. If Verizon, whoever is his provider, could cut him off, I would appreciate that. That's what I need to happen.
Well,
And
actually,
one thing that would-
I think he should travel. Let's get him as far away as possible.
That's true. That's true. I need people to stop
torture some other
simping, though. Like, stop taking pictures with him when you see him. Boo him if you see him. Stop running up and fanboying or fangirling. Like, you have to understand, folks, this isn't the person who you thought you knew. This is a Nazi now. You don't want a picture with a Nazi.
No, Mike, Mike, I think that's an excellent point we should double back to. This is not the person that you thought you knew. When did we ever think we knew a likable Kanye? What era?
That's true.
Of
Yeah,
Kanye
I
has
never-
he been-
He always rubbed something. He always was that guy. Like, maybe not.
I liked
the
College
Nazi
Dropout
loving
enough to give him a
Kanye.
lot of
How
passes,
much
though.
now that you wish you would kill. You would kill for old Kanye. Oh, you wish Kanye was just stressing Taylor Swift out. You wish that's all he was doing. You would kill for, like, oh, George Bush hates black people. What you would give to hear that? No one, like, excellent would he be spitting. If he said that present day, bars, okay? What? Viral tweet. That's excellent. Excellent. We would love that. No.
It wouldn't matter anymore. It's too late.
I
Mhm.
think
Yeah,
I
no,
made
it's
this
done.
joke with you guys before, but I'm starting to think that the George Bush hates black people thing might have been an endorsement of George Bush back in the day.
Yeah.
Seems like it's maybe for
Yeah.
attention, if anything, as opposed to him
my-
actually having a position.
Mhm.
My chat is screaming that Olayemi, your mic apparently is on maybe a different setting. It's not
Oh.
the mic that you have before you, because they're like, her mic looks really nice,
Oh,
and we
let's
were hearing
see.
her
Is
through
it still not working? Okay,
No,
let me see, let me
Skype.
figure.
Skype
your
is
Skype
really
settings,
bad where
probably
you
in the
gotta-
audio,
you
like
gotta-
where you
for
can
every
pull the
call, you
mic
gotta go
drop
in and change
down.
I got you. All right. Thank
Yeah.
y'all for telling me. I'm going to figure it out right now.
Yeah,
You're
Skype
right, I figured it
defaults
out.
to the worst microphone that you have. Like, I have this
Are we
microphone,
good?
it'll
Y'all hear
default
me
to
now?
my...
Yeah, that sounds
it's better.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me know if it's good.
Oh,
That's
that's
a good
super
mic.
clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's way
Okay,
better.
Good. Thank you. I'm sorry.
It sounded
Thank y'all
fine
for telling me.
before. But that's, yeah,
Yeah.
that's super crispy sounding. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, great. Excellent. Excellent. All right. No one talk shit. I did my best. Listen, they were on my head. Yo, they messaged me. It's funny how people on the internet can do the most like minuscule thing in the most dickhead way they could. Let me tell you how they were messaging me. They were like, Olayemi, I don't know if you see those other little devices in Lance and David and Mike. You can see it. You notice you can see it. That's a microphone. You should go. I was like,
That's...
So condescending.
I'm like, y'all can stop fucking talking to me like this. And you're
That's so messed
going to be mad because I'm like in my house. Like, first of all, I have a mic. I just don't have an adapter. I'm doing my best. Like, I forget. I was so upset. Yo, I went to Amazon like to get my fucking adapter.
If it makes you feel any better, so the first 7 episodes of my podcast, when I first started it, I had no idea I was recording through my laptop's microphone. And on the very first episode, so I had a bearded dragon in my room, and we keep a cage with crickets. And so the chirping is just white noise. It doesn't register on my mind, when you're around it all the time. I didn't take them out of the room for the first episode. So in the very first episode of my show, you hear nothing but chirping and me from like a distance speaking with a microphone, but it's coming through my laptop. It was so embarrassing. And somebody finally, after like episode 5, they're like, hey, the audio that you're recording, it's not through your microphone. It's through your laptop. I'm like, oh my God. And all it took was me like selecting, whatever the microphone was. It was very, very bad. So you did way better than me.
Thank you. Your embarrassment does make me feel better. Thank you for sharing.
Funny how that works.
We've come a long way.
Yeah.
Okay, one of the things I do want to say on a serious note when it comes to the situation that we were all just talking about is that, like, obviously this whole train wreck and this dumpster fire is one thing and one thing just to witness. But the fucked up shit is I really hate seeing Nick Fuentes' little booger-eating, cum-hunting, smiling face. And what I mean by that, by the way, is that he goes into his roommates' rooms to look for semen. He has a blacklight that he goes, because he's a weird neo-Nazi obsessed with, like, never masturbating. So he goes in other people's rooms with a blacklight to look for their semen. Yes, that's what his ex-roommates have said. Anyways, to see that neo-Nazi it's true.
I can't tell if we're being satirical because
no. This is what. Okay, so I know I switch back and forth really fast sometimes. Oh, okay, so yeah. Okay, I'm really happy to put this out there and give you all a new revelation. Nick Fuentes has, these are the two things he's known for. One, eating his boogers live on stream. That clip is still out there. The other one is that his roommates were basically like,
clean up your room. Can you say boogers with your Canadian accent again?
Fuck you. I'm not gonna do this, eh? We're not doing this. David, we gotta speak in code now, eh? Come on, let's do it.
Wait, what are they saying?
Anyways, so he apparently, according to his ex-roommates, he's like one of those big, like, he's a proud person who calls himself an incel, MGTOW, all that kind of stuff, red pill shit.
He calls himself an incel?
He calls himself an incel. He has said on camera, it is gay to have sex with women. Like, these are the memes that he deals with. Yeah, I know. I
didn't think it was real.
Oh, it's real.
Like, no way.
I grow wary.
I don't understand how someone like this, with all this video of them out there being like just eating your boogers on camera alone, like how does that not automatically just destroy his ability to have an audience, to gain any following? Like how does he go from eating his boogers to hanging out with Kanye West? Like how does that
Alex Jones. So, the answer is Alex Jones.
He goes up in his career from doing this shit.
But that's the part that scares me, David, is that, like, fun and games aside, like, Nick Fuentes would never be on Jimmy Kimmel. He's a bit on Jimmy Kimmel now. He's on, like, the normies know about him. Like, the fucking people who never, like, your parents probably would have never known about him. He's becoming a household name thanks to this. And because, again... Destructive thing. Yeah, they are smart enough to take advantage of this situation, to be like, holy fuck, this is one of the most prolific artists of all time. This is one of the most powerful black men in America. Like, let's use this opportunity now to raise our profiles in ways we never could before. That's the scary fucked up thing.
He's loving every minute of it. There's a clip, the clip on Alex Jones' show where Kanye specifically says how he loves what Hitler did. There's a wide shot where you see Nick Fuentes, and this really like stuck with me. Like, Alex Jones is sitting there going like, this is happening on my show, and Kanye is doing this thing with his whole mask, his mask on, face covered. So the only face you really that has like a giant like glow on it is Nick Fuentes sitting there, huge smile on his face as Kanye saying this, nodding along, and I'm just like, that little piece of shit. Like, he's loving every minute of this. This is exactly, like, he didn't plan this, but everything he has done has led him to this moment. It has, the universe has somehow worked out in the favor of Nick Fuentes.
And the thing is, make no mistake, these people do plan to find celebrities and use them for their causes. Like, that's true on both sides of the aisle, right? As they find celebrities and public figures that you think that have a platform, that are willing to support your messaging, and they align with them. Like, that happens on, like, make no mistake, that's very real. So it's not, they're able to capitalize on it because they were always prepared to capitalize on it so quickly in the first place. And the thing, and this is actually evidence of why it's so destructive. Like, people like to engage in this silly conversation about whether or not, Kanye is actually an anti-Semite, already believes it. Like, someone quote tweeted me today on my video saying, if you've been supporting Kanye up until this point, refusing to believe that he's spewing anti-Semitism and he's a white supremacist, you should feel stupid, and do you? And someone was like, oh, y'all are ridiculous. Y'all think he's really anti-Semite. He's just saying things to push back on cancel culture. First of all, that's fucking stupid. But beyond that, let's just say I accept the premise. right? Let's say I accept that premise that he is. That's a fucking problem. Like, that's not a mitigating factor, right? Because at the end of the day, I don't give a shit whether or not Kanye believes it in his heart of hearts. What I care about is the fact that it's anti-Semitic and you are spewing and galvanizing anti-Semitism. People who want to hear that, people who already believe that kind of thing, people who want to be able to have some kind of fake alleged rational purpose to it are going to take that and they're going to run with that, and actually endangers people. It's not like, oh, it's just a feelings thing. No, anti-Semitism, it leads to violence. It is a dangerous thing. Like the things that you're invoking, Hitler is literally somebody who committed genocide. So I don't care. We live in a real world where there are Nazis, there are neo-Nazis, there are white supremacists, the exact people that you are ingratiating yourself with, who want to hear that because that's the kind of messaging, that's what they want to carry out. And they want and they love an opportunity to take Kanye, a figure where people are already such a fan, he has a cult following, that they want to defend everything that he says and does. They want to believe that there's some good faith basis to it. So now they do that to anything he says. So now if he's spewing anti-Semitism, all these people are adopting and trying to find a way to rationalize and take these views, and you endanger real people. He's a really destructive ass bastard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well said.
That's what I gotta say.
I think that people, part of it is cognitive dissonance. Like, they don't want to accept that he is the way he is. And oftentimes I think that people ascribe rationality to these figures that doesn't exist. Like, where it's, oh no, he's playing 2-dimensional chess or 3-dimensional chess, yada, yada, yada. And they can't just accept that, no, he believes what he's saying. That there's no like coded message there. He's out and proud as a Nazi, saying he loves Hitler. Like, sometimes you just got to take people at their face, at their word, what they say at face value. And exactly. This is one of those instances where I think it's appropriate to do that.
Yeah.
You know how people believe conspiracy theories because it makes them feel safer about the real world? Like, I don't want to think about the Twin Towers actually having planes flying into them, so I'm going to believe that it may be the Jews or George Bush or this other kind of thing. I feel safer knowing that we have control that way. Part of me today when I was watching that Alex Jones thing was that, like, I would really love if this was a conspiracy theory where Ye was playing all of them, because this looks so bad on Tim Pool the other day where he had that really fucked up moment, and this looks really bad on fucking Alex Jones' show where he's having to dial it back. Alex Jones is the one being like, well, we can't praise the Nazis. We can go pretty far in what we say and do, but praising the Nazis is kind of like the line, right? There's at least a bar. So I know it's not real, but I wanted to believe that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you make Alex Jones look reasonable,
right,
that's when you're done. You've lost it. That's it. That's when cancel culture should actually affect you. Fuck this whole, cancel culture bad. No, if ever there was a case for cancellation, I think Kanye has met that criteria.
And that's the crazy, unfortunate thing about Kanye. The only thing that's really sad about the Kanye situation is just to see a black man allow himself to be turned into a puppeteer in this way. Because, listen, that is a thing. Just in general, black people enter the room and they try and create the contrast between you of like, you were the wild, irrational, this is the next thing, whatever. So Alex Jones and them are always going to set themselves up to make, oh yeah, look at this extra crazy, like, here's the crazy, like, oh, you hear from Kanye, and then everyone who likes him, it's their job to try to parse out and weed and act like, there's some genius to it. But that's always the setup. Like, that's the thing. No matter what he does, Kanye, even in his good days, right? Let's think about it. Even a call back to the George Bush days, it's never gone good for Kanye when he enters these kinds of rooms in terms of how he is presented, whether or not he was saying something on this side of the aisle or the other aisle. They would always create that dichotomy between it. So it's just sad to see him allow it to be used and weaponized in this way, and he's a part of it. Like, he's in on it at this point. Like, all right, yeah, like let's do this, and then we gonna sit here, because let's make no mistake, Alex Jones is not above and better than any of that rhetoric. Not at all.
No.
What I most know him for doing is quite literally just is up there, is right there.
Oh yeah, 100%. I have direct examples of this. The other day, if anyone doesn't listen to Knowledge Fights, they are an awesome podcast that breaks down every single lie that Alex Jones has in every single episode of every single thing that he does. And he had an episode a couple weeks ago where he was straight up saying that, like, there's a 10-to-1 ratio of black people killing white people in America, and then afterwards was talking about how gay people eat feces and shit like that, like this. And then he brought on a dude. His guest star was a fucking guy who was trying to tell us it's totally normal to talk about Christian nationalism. Why don't we say that we are proud Christian nationalists? And he was like, that makes sense to me. This is like, he gets so much cover as a white supremacist because of the fact that he's a meme, because of the gay frogs, because of all that kind of shit. So people don't think of Alex Jones like, oh yeah, he's a white supremacist. But the dude, like, the writing's on the wall. He says all this stuff all the time. We just see the memes and we think he's fucking hilarious,
I see him purely as a white supremacist. I see I'm on Black Twitter. I don't get no. I never seen an Alex Jones memes in my life. I know him purely. I literally exclusively Alex Jones batshit crazy white supremacist. That's all I know. I'm like, woo, this is scary.
Well, I guess that's the difference.
Yeah. Did you all see the Kim.com response?
Oh,
where he was
yeah.
basically mad that the mask slipped because, like, you're not supposed to directly say this. Like, they like to speak in dog whistles and coded language, and you don't say Jewish people, you say globalists. So, like, he basically said, well, I agreed with everything you said, Kanye West, but by praising Hitler, and I'm paraphrasing, by the way, you're giving them what they want. And so there was another a right-wing politician who lost that responded. I'm blanking on her name too, where she basically said the same thing, where it's like, see, I'm not with you on the Hitler stuff. So just keep spouting the anti-Semitism, but never say that much. Never say the quiet part loud.
This is quite kind of like, I dropped an essay today on my Substack iilluminaughtii, and this is kind of exactly what I was talking about. America will let you condemn in parts. It will let you talk about something in part, or you know what I mean, or like let you imply that something is similar, but it'll never admit it for what it completely is in totality. So because it would be forced, they wouldn't have the moral room to condemn it. So at the end of the day, it's like we're gonna toe the line. We're gonna be right here at anti-Semitism street, at the top of the street, But whoa. If you say Hitler, if we do Hitler, there's no wiggle room in that. We gotta wear it as what it really truly is. So they want to go just one hair of one hair shy, and then it's just rhetoric.
Yeah, they always need like a little bit of plausible deniability, just like the tiniest bit. Just as long as there's like one dumbass in the world that thinks that they're not what they actually are, then they can keep skating by on that idea that they actually aren't that obvious thing. So that once you actually call it out, once Kanye actually says that he's a Nazi and that he loves Hitler, that's it. Like there's no more pretending. You can't even pretend to pretend anymore because now it's just out in the open.
Did he say that? Yeah. I didn't finish the broadcast. Did he actually say like I'm a Nazi?
Yes.
Yep.
In the broadcast.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh my God.
I know you're fucking lying. I'm so disappointed in myself that I don't have no patience.
Alex Jones is like, I don't like he doesn't like hearing about Nazis. I'm not a Nazi. And then Kanye West goes, I am.
Oh,
and Alex Jones goes, you're what? I'm a Nazi. He straight up, I covered in my video. He straight up says it. It's completely insane. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm so upset with myself. Y'all don't understand. I got so fucking giddy with glee at the when he just at the I like Hitler shit. I was like, oh, this son of a bitch! I got him now. I'm so upset that he said, "Oh, the smoking gun." Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I buried the lead.
Why does it take that for some people? Like, obviously not for Ye, but just like people in general. There's other people, like a good example was Alex Jones, who are like, they're broadcasting this shit. Like, you know, a lot of the right in America is straight up like, we don't want trans people to exist. It's like, they're telling you who they are. And a lot of people still, and maybe I blame liberal media for this, they'll still just be like, well, how can we truly know what they think? What do they desire? Like, you know, is there any way of truly, like, it's like, no, they're broadcasting this shit. They're trying to pass it through legislation. They're trying to limit the autonomy of women. That's like, they're doing the things right now that they're like, you should see them for what they are, kind of stuff, you know?
They're banning books. It's all there. Sorry, go ahead, Blair.
No. I was gonna,
or I don't know who was.
Kanye, but anyone who's really shocked by this Kanye behavior, it has really just not been in the loop about what Kanye has been about. I mean, I don't know if y'all know this, but back in 2011, he compared himself to Hitler then. Like, he was already laying these cards out on the table. This is not new information. So it's kind of just anyone who's like, oh my God, I can't believe it. You're just like, I mean, not really. You could.
You have to understand that at the time he was disorganized crazy, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, he was still very like the consistent. like the thing that makes it's undisputable that Kanye is mentally unwell, right? And he's going through things. Kanye has mental health issues. Like Kanye is not, a fully together person in terms of these things that he's doing. But it's the organized fashion and that lets you know, like, no, these are conscious choices. This is not a mental health episode. He knows what he's doing because he knows where he's going. He knows who he's doing it with. He knows when he picks up, when he drops certain angles, when storylines. He knows when to, go about it. So that's all you know. But at the time. Hey, back then, we were black. You have to understand the reason, black people love Kanye, right? Like, we're not just gonna, as a community. I don't mean when I say we're as a community, not me, because I fuck Kanye, right? Like, but as everybody, not gonna just let go of Kanye. Like, we're deep in the he ain't been right since his mama died excuse. 2011, that's the beginning of he ain't been right. His mama just died. No, we wasn't. People weren't trying to hear that then. Like, you have to understand, there are black people still riding for Kanye. Even the ones, even the ones who are against Kanye in terms of what he's saying. Let him go 6 months and put out some music. We gonna go right back to the, he ain't right. So no, they wasn't trying to hear that in 2011. I assure you. I am so sorry, Blair. They was not listening to that shit. He might have still been with black women in 2011. Nah, we wasn't trying to hear that. Like,
I just think more from like, there's a lot, like when I covered Kanye West about a month ago in an episode, I thought this was it. I didn't think it could get much worse, which is why I'm like, oh, here we are a month later. And I'm like, oh shit. But a lot of white folks, myself included, are not super keen to a lot of that information. And sometimes it's also, in a weird way, hard to translate it to be like, hey, by the way, lots of folks already know about this. It's just not like our community that already is aware of it. And sometimes I think that falls on us because we either don't know how to be aware or just don't care until something goes absolutely through the roof like this. But there was a lot of people who didn't know that was even said all the way back in 2011. And people thought the most controversial thing that he did in past tense was the whole slavery was a choice thing in like 2017 or 18. And I was like, no. It goes much farther than that.
That's when it definitely got on like, white liberal radars. That's when it was like, whoa, that's really intense. And then like, even at that time, not everyone knew that behind the scenes, he apparently was praising Hitler in that TMZ interview. That was just something that never made it out. But like, that was the first time I think, a lot of white liberals were like, oh, okay. So yeah, has some pretty yikesy takes on this shit.
I think the problem is people don't have an actual understanding of white supremacy as a whole. I think on both sides of the aisle, like, because a lot of conversations I've had with my black friends who are prepared to ride or die for Kanye, and they don't understand. Or even when I talked about it on Rising, Robbie laughed at that. Like when I'm like, oh, he is spewing. This is, textbook white nationalism because it seems ridiculous because he's a black guy and he's saying these things about Jews. And Chris Rock had a joke about this once, like, black people, we don't dissect white people. It's just like, it's all white people to us, don't get involved to some, and I think people don't seem to realize, like, actually, white supremacists don't just hate black people. Gay people right there at the top of the list. Jewish people are right there. Like, that's the staple, like, that's right there. That's
the go-to.
Like, yeah, like, Chris Rock has a joke about that, like, oh, once people start, once people started getting real racist, he starts listening, he's like, oh, black people and Jews are next. That's a whole thing. It's a thing. So, yeah, it's like, once he started spewing as a black person, when he started spewing anti-black rhetoric, and he started ingratiating himself with known white nationalists, to me, goes without saying, the next thing we know, anti-Semitism is coming, because that is when they teach it to you in school, like, hey, what do white nationalists believe? What did the Klan believe? Who did they hate? Who did the Nazis hate? That is it's a bullet point. It's like one of the things you would learn for the test. That is a part of it. And I think that's the mistake, is people don't really realize that, so they don't really understand what you're talking about. That's why they laugh at it. Like, they don't know what they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Online, there's a lot of overlap with misogyny as well. Like, there's like, you can see this intersection between a lot of the like men's rights, MGTOW, red pill communities, the Andrew Tates, all that kind of like, oh god, we got to fit, you got to be a big fucking top G, all that shit crossing over with like actual alt-right neo-Nazi shit too, where it's just like a lot of disrespect towards women, misogyny overlaps with this, and these communities can find similar beliefs and stuff in the same circles, which also really fucking sucks because it's also so popular. Like, the thing that I hate is that like the Andrew Tate Tates, and before he was like, you know, banned off social media, all these motherfuckers get so promoted by algorithms on YouTube and other shit because this stuff sells. It keeps eyeballs on it. People want to watch controversial shit, edgy shit. And if you got a guy going on there, or so like, you know, it's like, Ye's being racist. Whoa, what? One of the most powerful black men is being racist? Crazy. It's like, oh, Andrew Tate is saying that like women deserve their own rape. You're like, oh, whoa, I'm going to watch this. This is wild. And this stuff just gets fucking fueled and funneled. And unfortunately, it all overlaps.
Well, here's what sucks. If Kanye West was a woman, he would have already been put into a conservatorship for these antics. But because he's a man, we say that he's just a misguided genius. And I think that's a bit fucked.
I've never heard that take before. I mean,
I have heard that
there would be a certain difference for sure. I'm not going to push back on that at all.
No, it definitely would have already been done.
That's very true.
But
very true.
I did see though that there's something in the works of some sort. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. But it definitely would have already been done. You're right about that.
Especially with like that powerful family. Like think of the Kardashians. Think of the overlaps between those different groups and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like compare him to Britney Spears. There's no comparison, right? Like he's way more out there than she was when she was in her.
I would say comparing him to Britney Spears is very mean to Britney. There's no.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like it's not even close. Yeah.
Britney Spears is on Instagram just posting the topless photos or whatever, and she's not deserved to be compared to.
No.
Yeah, I think the thing with Britney more than just like, you know, because there's some intersectionality of a few things, right? Because, you know, white woman, different thing. Like there's so much to unpack there, right? White woman, black man,
this is a huge can.
Yeah, it's a lot. I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, I'd have to write a paper. I see a few different things. I think something in particular that distinguishes the cases is that Britney's own family is who was working against her. Like it's it's the state. A conservatorship is a method by which the state, is able to take control of you or whatever and give it to somebody, but they worked in conjunction with Britney's own family that set Britney up, that went against Britney, that's that. So Kanye has a different situation there that I think changes it. Also, I don't, in some ways one could argue there are times in Kanye's career and life that I could say Kanye being a black man has obviously led to more vilification. Like I think in a different world, if Kanye were a white man, I don't think he would have ever had, like people would have ever hated him the way they hated him in the first place, that his foundation was so much hate when all of this happened. So in ways I do think I want to make sure I give him his bail, because I was very much so, I loved me some Kanye. I was a Kanye defender back in my early day. I was never mad. He did that to Taylor Swift. I was definitely like, fuck George Bush. I was feeling, I felt him, okay, on in the earliest of early days. But now I think what is helping Kanye a lot is, first of all, who he's adjacent to. You always, because I can't in the same breath, I can say that him being that if he were a woman, because it's definitely that he's a white woman and a different thing to that it would be a different outcome, because in some respects it's his adjacent. It's him being adjacent to white women that's actually protecting him now. Like it's Kim and all of these white women, and all
very powerful white women too.
Bing,
some of the richest and most powerful white women in America.
Bing, 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 and in so many respects, I don't know, but it's a hot take.
It's interesting one too, though. I don't know. The entire saga has just been an absolute fucking. It sucks because, again, all we've been doing is talking about, like, a lot of the things related to the memes and all that kind of shit, but part of me always just, like, I can't get the image of a smiling Nick Fuentes and a smiling Alex Jones, slightly nervous. I don't ever see Alex Jones ever fucking nervous on his show, but slightly nervous that, we're going too far. But Nick Fuentes, not nervous at all. So happy. Huge grin. This little fucking 24-year-old, again, cum hunter, is so excited about what's happening, because it's just like, this is the greatest opportunity of my life. I never would be in the top trending of Twitter. He was fucking top 10 for a little while, had it not been for this shit. You know, that's like one of the saddest things about this entire story. Once everything is brushed aside and everyone is just like, oh well, this is a train wreck, no question. It's like, but you know who won? Because we all lost. Everyone loses. There's no benefits here. You know, between like you know, people who are opposed to anti-Semitism, people who are opposed to neo-Nazis, people who are opposed to white supremacy, all that kind of stuff. The winner is the fucking neo-Nazi, and now he has a way bigger platform to do his shit from.
Yeah, definitely. I think we killed that topic.
I don't know what else to say. I mean, we could go on, I'm sure, but I feel like, damn, this is
grim.
This timeline is grim.
Okay, so why don't we talk about happier things? Why don't we talk about the dude who trades horses for sexual favors and his empire collapsing in real time?
Who did?
Oh, is that Donald Trump?
So this is a guy who bought a $44 billion midlife crisis. It's basically like a sports car or like a much younger concubine, except that we are seen from the POV of the sports car. That's the experience that we're all having on the internet. You still haven't picked it up? You don't? I can't believe. No, you're fucking with me, right? Elon Musk.
Oh.
Yes.
Like horse? Oh, the horse thing. That's
the
right,
horse like just threw everything off, Landon.
That's an old story now.
We should not let him leave that though. He's a monkey torturer. He has economics. He believes in trading horses for goods and services. Come on.
I mean,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Where do we start with Elon Musk? I don't even know. Like,
oh Lord, Elon. Oh, now I'm upset again. What about him? You feel like
he exists.
Immediately, I want all the smoke. Like,
well, he at least proved that billionaires aren't very smart. They didn't get that money because they're smart. Just they won the lucky sperm club, and it's just about luck. I think that he disproved the notion of a meritocracy fully. Everyone can acknowledge now that, you know, being talented isn't necessarily going to translate to success. So I am thankful with regard to that. I do like the way that he is going after brands, and at the same time, he's kind of crushing his own brand. There was a Financial Times article, no cap, that said that he was calling up executives when they pulled ads from Twitter and personally berating them. That to me is wonderful. Like, it shows you how petulant he is. Like, whenever I think, like, am I being too petty on Twitter? It's like, no, I'm never Elon Musk level petty. So it just, you know, you can look to people like Elon Musk, and even if he may have a lot of money, that doesn't mean that he's intelligent. That doesn't directly translate into, like, being a good person or more valuable. He's just a dumbass. And that's what the Elon Chronicles has proven to me.
What I'm hearing from you, Mike, is that you're not lining up to get your Neuralink chip implanted in your head.
You know, if nothing really changes in politics, maybe I'll do that. Get the Neuralink chip in Minecraft. I'll do that to myself if nothing changes, if the doomerism continues. But right now, I'm not there yet.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't trust Tesla's his work on Tesla to make a solid chip that's not going to fall apart in your head.
Yeah. I need a little bit more tests. Although I did see that he was going to get the chip himself. I don't know how true that is. I mean, he probably won't, but apparently he wants to do it or something like that. Yeah, I would encourage him to do that. That'd be great.
Well,
put it in Tucker Carlson also.
You know how you can tell when someone has a Neuralink chip in their head? Their face will suddenly burst into flames.
They'll
start running into children and
right.
Running into children, like World War Z style.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was also curious. I don't want to change the subject if you all want to stay on Elon Musk.
No, go nuts. There's no rules. This whole thing is just we're figuring it out as we go along, okay? Yeah.
So I discovered something that I'm, for some reason, fascinated with. Spiderman is real. There is a pro-life Spiderman, and I saw he was on Tucker Carlson, and he scales buildings to get out the message that abortion bad. And it's something I don't even know where to begin with the story. I talked about it on my Twitch stream. And he offered Tucker Carlson to go with him climbing. Tucker Carlson unfortunately rejected that. But yeah, he doesn't have any gear. He scales buildings, and he's trying to raise money for like, this anti-abortion fund. So and he looks like Peter Parker, kind of like a Peter Parker type.
A fucking loser. You see why we have to? You see why we have to shame people? Like I'm not like
bullying is important.
No, whoa, thank you. I'm so glad you said it. Was that a tip of my tongue? I was like, whoa.
You're trying to say, you just gotta admit it. Yeah, it's important sometimes.
Like what the you're a fucking and you know like you're a loser, bro. Like we have to actually talk. Like I gotta write something about the politics of loserdom. Like you're a fucking loser. That's what these people really are. That whole side of the aisle, like they're the corniest, wackest, lose, just loud. The Ben Shapiro. Look at these people. You're scaling at your big age with your big self. What are you doing? You're fucking scaling walls, like to get the fucking message. Pro-life doesn't need awareness. Like, what do you think? You think people don't know? What the fuck?
That's true, to raise awareness. Just so people know about this cause they've never heard of before. Whoa, it's Spider-Man! Whoa, that reminds me. Birth!
And then they'll tell their stories about how they was treated in school because they like anime. Liars! Y'all are fucking losers. It wasn't the anime, it was you. It was you doing shit like this. Like, what are you talking about? How you even combine those notions? And you know he thought that shit was hot shit. You know he was announcing somebody like, Mummy, wait. I'm about to fuck him up with this one. And he's like, what if I took Spider-Man? Take it. Abortion. Like, a loser.
Well, and the meme is already pre-planned, right? Like there's gonna be a meme. It's claims to be pro-life, dies, falls off of a building. Like I
almost spit take with that. Wow.
Fucking
claims to be pro-life.
Yeah, like he has the Spider-Man logo on his back, and so you can Google it. And yeah, he's
on his back, like tattooed.
It's like he was wearing a shirt,
and he's scaling.
Yeah, and he was high up. Like if he were to fall, that's it. So it's not a very pro-life thing to do, but he's doing it.
And you know what's crazy about that? Let me tell you how you know you're a fucking loser. I hate to say it. And this is no slander. This is no slander to Spider-Man. Spider-Man does not deserve the strays he's fucking cats. I just want to let the record reflect. I have the most respect for Spider-Man. Nobody send me any messages. I'm not disrespecting Spider-Man, but he wasn't the most popular man, was he?
True.
People are fucking going crazy for Spider-Man. Spider-Man himself. So think about the kind of person that watches Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man is what he emulates to be level cool. Spider-Man is a man who's literally super and still cannot be just regular school popular. Like nobody fucks with Spider-Man has about 2 friends and 1 bitch. Like, that's it. That's all he got. And this man was watching that like, oh, if I could be like this boy one day.
He's relatable. That's why it's relatable.
It's the coolest part of the movie where he catches lunch. Like that's the coolest thing he does. He catches a bunch of lunch. And you're like, whoa, he really showed them. He caught the lunch.
But I love how this is going to totally lead to an anti-SJW Avengers where like Turf Thor is next, because this dude is going to make the rounds. He was already on Tucker Carlson. He's going to go on, Tim Pool's. So there's going to be like other variations of like the superhero where there's like a, I don't know, some anti-Semite Thanos. Like they're all going to form together.
Anti-Semite
like, just, it's going to happen.
I'm tempted to YouTube it. Like I want to see it, but I also don't want to fuck my algorithm up. Like, you know what I mean? Like one, we're like,
Is he successful, Mike? Like, is he actually raising money? Like, is his goal? Is he successful in whatever he's doing?
I don't know if he is successful. It seems like he recently just got on the radar because there were a couple of articles written about him, and so then Tucker picked it up. I have a video coming out on my channel on Saturday. It's just like a Twitch clip where if you don't want the bad stuff to get on your algorithm, you could watch mine. And I just run through the interview, and it's just, it's kind of what you'd expect when you think of like a Republican Spider-Man. And I don't know. I just
Republican Spider-Man is powerful.
Yeah.
I never thought it. Like this thing, it's just so ridiculous. Like this side of the aisle is just so fucking ridiculous, son. And like and they always, and I hate being in a world where I'm supposed to take these people seriously. Like I'm the problem because I'm not like, you know what I mean? Like, and you know what I'm saying? And those would be the kind of people that will curse me out in the comments for not thinking that this is some serious shit. Like Republican Spider-Man are the kind of people who will tell me my nails and my hair are distracting them from the serious thing. Really? Like these your people? Like these are the kind of people you like Republican Spider-Man? Sir, you are a real boy. That is what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? Like, I don't want to hear anything from you. I can't respect nothing from the minds of anybody who even is having a serious conversation with him. Tucker Carlson's so goddamn stupid. Tucker Carlson not even gonna go to regular hell. Like he gonna go to a place special for stupid people. Just stupid people. People whose major sin was running amok with stupidity all across the universe. So I can say, you know what? I got something special for you to say. By your fucking self. Because clearly you can't have company in hell. You don't know how to act. He could be around hell talking shit.
So
I do feel like
go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I decided to look into him because I wanted to see what he's actually supporting because he's got these click here to donate buttons on his website, which is really his website's so well put together if you check it out, by the way. So I wanted to see who he's donating to, and he's donating to a recent charity that was essentially established in 2019 called Let Them Live. And they don't show up on Charity Navigator. And usually when a charity doesn't show up, it's because they can't hit $1 million worth of donations in a year. So whatever money is being donated indicates to me that it's not significant. And these are more of just publicity stunts more than anything.
Oh, for pro-life Spider-Man? So do you think he's profiting off it?
I don't know. So the thing with donations, like I can't say for certain, obviously, but you can say that you're donating. And as long as you don't actually say what % of it, you're technically not being deceptive. If you only donate 10% and pocket 90, that's technically okay, even though it's really gray.
Was there any disagreement among it? Was it not assumed that Republican Spider-Man was not?
I still can't hear that sentence out loud. Republican Spider-Man.
Some other reason. we thought Republican Spider-Man
the Spider-Man Foundation has raised $10,953 of the $50,000 that they want to raise.
And this is after being on Tucker Carlson's show.
Yes, that's all.
That's after Tucker Carlson. He got the Tucker Carlson bump, and that's all he could do. That is sad. All right, I'm sorry. Olayemi was totally on point with this. That is so sad. That is absolutely ridiculous. No, you are a clown man. You're not Spider-Man. You're a clown man. That's all you're going to be from now on.
He's what you get when you order Peter Parker. Yeah, he's what you get when you order Peter Parker from Wish.com. That's the Spider-Man that arrives.
Right.
Google him and you'll see. Like if you Google his face, his name is Mason Deschamps, by the way.
Okay, spell it now. Mason.
Yeah, Mason. I think it's
oh no, we're promoting him. We're broadcasting him.
DES. This is gonna be as famous as he gets. We're giving him his 15. More than Tucker probably. DES, and then just Champs. And then his face, that's the guy who's calling you a cuck.
First of all, I know you fucking lying. I know you fucking. First and foremost, actually, let me run it back because I thought I needed to preface to make sure I wasn't disrespecting Spider-Man. But whoever it was that started, I can't remember which one of you it was who was like, oh, you know, he looks a little Peter Parker-ish. Y'all owe Peter Parker a motherfucking apology. Like, yeah,
he does not. No, this guy. He looks like there's something a little bit off. Something a little bit wrong with him.
He looks like abstract Doug. That's what the fuck he looks like. Peter fucking Parker. Like Wyatt is rolling over in his bed right now. I can't believe he said that shit. Andrew Garfield, that's Peter Parker. Peter Parker.
He looks a little bit. He looks a little bit like if Picasso was in charge of a Spider-Man comic.
I'm saying, and was drunk. Like,
I mean, I do think that the obvious end here is, pro-choice Green Goblin will show up and this guy's gonna fall off a building.
Wait, can one of us see that?
Pro-choice Green Goblin and Republican Spider-Man.
Yes,
Green
one
New
of
Deal
us has
Goblin.
to be. Yeah, one of us has to step up.
I don't understand.
Yes,
I
that's
don't
true.
really
This is a calling.
I'm looking at one of the
Light the
videos.
banners.
So I personally am perplexed as to the messaging, right? I guess since now I'm forced to have to engage. This is a real thing. I'm into deep now, right?
Nah, you can't look away.
There's a video, and the man is hanging from the window like a chimney like a chimney sweep. But anyway, and I assume he's not talking. Then there's no audio. You know what I mean? He's from a fucking on the side of a building, and the caption says the fight is still raging. Conservative media, for whatever reason, has yet to pick up on this story. I want to meet my goals. If you want to hear me, share this video. What the fuck is the goal? What is he talking about? He's like, just like abortion, #abortion, #let's go Brandon, #.
He's dropping Brandon. Is he doing this while he's climbing? He's like Republican Spider-Man mid-climb while he's like fucking putting this on the socials. Got a gram.
Like, what are you trying to bring awareness to? What's your goals? This isn't like his personal fight. He don't got no bitches. I know this. No one's pregnant with him. Like, this is not.
Okay, could you imagine trying to describe that? I was like, hey, I'm sorry, I gotta take the day off. I'm ascending. It's like you're doing that shit again. You're climbing fucking buildings again. You're like, why? Everyone laughs at you.
I can't with that.
Does this seem like somebody the top of their problems list is about whether or not women is having his babies?
Yeah, it definitely seems a lot less like a Republican Spider-Man and a lot more like a Diary of a Wimpy Republican.
Yes. Yes. He do look like that automation.
I feel like I'm bullying a middle school kid right now, but it's also warranted. Like, he probably hasn't been bullied or like told by his parents to stop. So maybe we're like that parental figure in a way. This is how I'm rationalizing just being a dick to someone, but I kind of feel like it's deserved. It's just it's so bizarre.
It's weird because like the amount of effort and dedication it takes to be able to scale a building like that, like that takes work, right? Like, so he dedicated himself to be able to free climb, and he's this fucking stupid. Like, it's just so bizarre to me. Like, if you have that in you to be able to do something that is so impressive, scale a building, that's impressive, but then you're also a hateful piece of shit and you're a moron. You can't get laid and you scale buildings. Like, that's some fucked up shit. Like, that's crazy to me.
Hold on, I'm gonna cry.
I
can't wait. I can't wait to learn what this is. I can't wait to learn what broke Olayemi. This was too much.
Is there? Your laughter is making me laugh. I'm almost crying.
Imagine you call your mommy from jail.
Wait, what? I can't even hear what you're saying.
You call your mommy from jail. Like, mommy,
Mommy,
I was on the roof again. I'm sorry, Mom.
I see that. Yeah.
It's my calling. I had to do it.
Like Spiderman.
I'm Spider-Man.
That means that you literally got locked up for doing fuck. They don't even know what the crime is. I don't know if it's like it has to be against the law. This is some bullshit. Lock him up.
Oh.
Get him the fuck in the back.
I can imagine his mom was just like, "Oh, what were you arrested for, sweetie?" And she's like, "Oh, please be drugs or something." He's like, "Oh, climbing a building." Like, fuck.
Not again. Were you naked this time? No. I was wearing my Spider-Man costume.
Definitely not be Republicans. He can't be Spider-Man, period. Apparently his parents are alive.
Damn.
I'd be so embarrassed.
That is saying Republican Spider-Man is what happens when you dump intelligence for strength.
High ratio. You can probably chart it in a graph.
He is agile, I suppose. I suppose I can't take that from him.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah, child. That's hilarious.
God. Oh, I can't handle it. I'm like, I have tears in my eyes.
Ridiculous. Republican Spider-Man.
if we're gonna make fun of like movies and shit, can we also make fun of Super Mario? Did any of you see Super Mario?
Oh my god!
There's a movie.
I saw the
There's a
trailer.
movie.
There's a
I
new.
gotta say, it's looking
I think
so
it looks good.
except for the main actor's voice. And also, I gotta say,
Yes.
I'm not feeling Luigi's voice either. I'm sorry. Everyone else
Oh.
sounds great. Everyone
It's
else
just-
sounds great.
Okay, this thing that came out 2 days ago. That's what this is.
Okay, so
let me-
if
let me-
y'all don't know, I'll give a really quick recap. Chris Pratt was hired to be Mario. Everyone made fun of him, and they were like, "Yeah, Chris Pratt can't do Mario because he doesn't act. He's just Chris Pratt as Chris Pratt and everything. It's Chris Pratt except he's a guy who works with dinosaurs. It's Chris Pratt except he's a spaceman. Stuff like that." So he released this Instagram where he's like, "It's me, Mario," but it won't be like that. It'll actually be the real voice. And then everyone's like, "Well, Chris Pratt's gonna fuck this up. He can't be Mario. This sucks." The trailer comes out, and obviously it's just Chris Pratt, except now he's doing a weird half Chris Pratt, half Brooklyn accent, where he's like, "Whoa, Luigi, get over here!" You know, shit like that. Like, what is going on?
Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah, here we come. Whoa, forget about it.
That,
You know,
that didn't sound so bad. If he sounded like that throughout the whole movie, maybe I would like it a little bit more. But it seems like he somehow only sounds good doing that one line.
but did any of you watch the French or
I was
Portuguese
just
dub?
gonna say that.
Because
Yeah,
my
they got good
word,
voice acting
yeah,
for those,
that's
yeah.
Mario. You know, it's like, "Haha, allons-y," and you're like, "Whoa!" out of nowhere. Okay, so I'm
I
gonna watch the
wonder
French
though, like
dub.
90 minutes of hearing, like, was that annoying? Like,
That's true. I would
Chris
tire
Pratt's
pretty
voice
fast.
isn't great, but I don't think it's like it's not going to get in the way. Like it's fine. It's serviceable. I think Jack Black as Bowser is going to carry that
Oh
movie.
no! He crushes it. In fact, I think it's hilarious that Jack Black did so well, considering how bad Chris Pratt has done. Because it juxtaposes, like Jack Black has a passion for this shit. He's like, "I love this franchise. I'm gonna be Bowser. I'm gonna give this for my children. I am Bowser." And it's like, whoa, and you're like, whoa, okay, all right, Jack Black, you crushed it, no question.
I mean, it's tough. Like because if you have the Mario voice, like that high pitched Mario voice for 90 minutes in a speaking role in a movie, I don't think that lands. Like that's got to be annoying. So there has to be toned down a little bit. I'm sure there's a better version out there in the world than Chris Pratt's, but it's not so. Like I think my feeling is the writing is going to carry the movie. It's going to be good enough. It's going to be, I think, a fairly good animated film. It's not going to, I think, blow people away, but I think it'll be good enough. I'm excited for it. I mean, that's just my opinion.
I'll watch it. Yeah, for sure.
I'm looking forward to Chris Pratt's Mario scale the Mushroom Kingdom castle in order to raise money for pro-life causes.
And that's what we call a throwback.
Republican Mario.
Republican.
I mean, to be
No
fair,
more
Mario
doctors.
probably
Here
would be
we
a
come.
Mario was supposed to be played by like an Italian American. No, they didn't feel no kind of way about that. Isn't Mario?
Matt Binder, are you
What is-
Italian? I don't.
what
Do we have
about-
an Italian on the panel?
I am Italian.
You're part Jewish, right?
I am both Italian and Jewish, so I am very relevant on this episode. So,
That's true. You are the intersection. We found the intersection.
So they didn't feel no kind of way. Like Mario, no one had any pushback on those grounds. I don't get in white people business generally, so I missed this controversy. but I feel like if it were me, if Mario was Asian, this would be a problem. Like I feel like it's not giving that Chris Pratt. It just feels very random, very. I watched her. It sounds like Chris.
Yeah,
Pratt.
a lot of
Yeah.
anti-Italian racism just passes in this world, doesn't it? Just laugh all the time.
Fredophobia. We don't tolerate Fredophobia on this show, by the way. I just hope you know.
Somebody thought that I was Italian. Roller Dragon says, "Isn't Mike Italian?" I'm Portuguese.
Portuguese.
Yeah, I could see. I could see that.
Yeah.
Because your last name, I could guess that. I could see that. I can see
I'm
what
half
you're feeling
Portuguese,
like.
so we're Portuguese.
You're
brothers
half
there.
Portuguese? I
Yeah,
didn't
we
know
are.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What's the other half?
White.
I was just about to say.
But which of the whites? There's a lot of whites to go around.
My grandparents were born here. That's like, if you go really back, it's like, I think English, French, but
Okay.
I had no connection to that.
Lots of white stuff over there. Blair, I just be staring at your thing because like there's no way for me to know how you're reacting, and I'm just like, let me look at this little eye and see if it give me something.
I love that. Like I want to know how to do that. Like have like.
I was just thinking, like, what kind of
follow you like that?
Give it advanced technology. I want a me. I want like a little thing I could be behind.
You want a me? What a wholesome
Really
request.
Disturbing. Here, hold on. Let me show you the human version.
Oh my god.
A little.
Wow.
It just changed.
Yeah. So, I prefer to be a pyramid.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
You'll be a pyramid. It's like a scary.
That's
like,
cool.
Yes, I like you as a pyramid. Yeah, that's
It's
very
like
fancy.
It's like Spawncast, where they have Nate, who doesn't show his face, but he has like a little. It kind of looks like Marshmallow. I don't know what it is. It's like a X. Like he has like an avatar, and it's pretty cool.
But people have seen your face before, though, Blair.
Oh yeah, absolutely. My face isn't
Okay.
like super hidden. I just like, I mean, like today I have makeup and my hair done and stuff, so it wouldn't matter. But I'm just like, most of the time I'm just lazy.
My makeup's normally done, but I didn't do it today. I had intended to be cute for this, but then I was busy.
Yeah, but you look so fabulous. I don't think you understand, Miss Thing. I
flattery.
Actual dumpster fire, like without makeup. Like I need it. I'm old white. Okay.
Blair, my whole chat
Not
is saying,
old
was
white.
that the face reveal? My chat's asking. It's like they're like, is this the official face reveal? Is this the first time?
Oh, I mean, maybe for that, like, I guess VTuber probably. I think I've used it once before and it freaked out my chat, so I've just never used it since.
It freaked out my chat. The regular face is hilarious. I never thought about that. Like hiding one's face. That would be lit, probably.
I feel like
Do you
if
not,
I could
do
go
you not know about
back,
that
I
whole
would
section
do
of the
that.
internet? Really?
Yeah.
You do that? That like, okay, so this
I
is a
would,
massive
yeah.
thing. Olayemi, I don't know if you know this, but like it's a big thing on the internet to have like VTubers. Like they are like, and they're in right now. Like VTubers are so popular on YouTube. It's like
VTuber.
like virtual YouTubers. Like that's what Blair is. It's people who don't actually ever show their real face, but they do like animated avatars that like do motion tracking to do that kind of stuff because for a variety of reasons, and they're exploding online. Yeah.
I can't. The only reason I can't be a part of that is because I need to be able to call people pussy, like respectfully, like on Twitter. You know what I mean? Like,
You think you would lose that power overnight?
Yeah, that's my bag. Like, what? You're from Biden Anonymous. Come fuck you. Like you. What is I see it there? It's like for the sole reason. Like I'm very like I'm trying to transition into stop cussing people out, but I'm very like, hey, come fight me. Like actually, you're talking about me, come fight me. And I just, like, it's lost energy. If you can't see my face, I want you to be clear. Look me in my eye and please understand that I would fight you. like the only reason I'm cursing you out on Twitter is because in real life I'd beat your ass, but I can't. So that's the only reason. I'm like, I can't be anonymous because I need to have all this base.
Also, probably the Hill Rising wouldn't allow just like an avatar sitting beside Robbie there. Like
That would be
what would
wild.
that look like?
I'd be lit. I can only imagine that I'd be received like honestly they might prefer like if like a thing of me rather than the real me ever having seen me. They might have responded better to that. Like, I could see it going over better.
Have they brought you on again, or?
Since we last, I think they just actually asked me to go on. I'm gonna go on Tuesday to talk about Rikers.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You know,
Right
my
on.
usual. Yeah.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think my last time I hosted was like September, I believe, right? Or September, October. Honestly, the way the days in the year, I feel like time hasn't made sense since 2020. So
That's
I
true.
never
Yeah.
know when anything was. So I'm like,
Or 20.
I try to judge things by hairdo, and if I didn't change my hairdo enough recently, I'm like, I don't know when that was. I think it was September. Lance, what do you have?
Well, I was gonna ask, should we actually talk about that? Should you? Because we haven't really talked about anything serious. I feel for the last little while. Should we get you to plug?
I know you fucking lying. Kanye must have just tweeted. Did y'all see this? Yay 24, love everyone. Look at this.
Oh my God.
What?
I know. Listen, I know you fucking
Wow.
lying.
Wow. I also saw
God.
earlier that he tweeted out, I assume this was Nick Fuentes, but he tweeted out about the Gripers and then linked to Nick Fuentes' Cozy TV on his official account. I'm like, this is fucked.
Shit.
Yeah, this is so fucked. You are giving neo-Nazis so much power. It's unbelievable. And one of the things that I was doing on my show not too long ago was like trying to go through the history of when white supremacy in America especially was really, really starting to ramp up. There was this amazing alliance between black communities and Jewish communities where like a lot of people don't know this, but MLK, during that infamous speech that every Republican likes to fuck up and talk about like, oh, this is what it really meant kind of shit, the opener for that was a rabbi. There was an alliance between both Jewish communities and black communities at that time because they were facing white supremacy. And then it was like they were banding together. The only people who benefit from Jewish people and black people fighting each other is white supremacists. That's it. That's it.
On
like,
God.
That's the only one. Yes.
On God. First of all, and this is my thing. This whole, as a general rule, and now I want to say this, there are obviously the black people who love Kanye so much that they are, embracing foolishness. But for the vast majority, recognize that this is nonsense, and also recognize that this is revisionist history. All this stuff they're trying to say between Jewish and black people. Everybody knows Jewish and black people are cool. Like this is just. Give me a break with it. Come on. We know it. And it's like even beyond just like historical facts, right? Because we know that there've always traditionally been an alliance between those communities. But even just pop culture, even in our pop culture, we've referenced that. You watch Girlfriends, Tony's husband is Jewish. You know what I mean? And they talk about that. Like it's in that. It's a thing. It's a well-known thing. So it's just ridiculous to see them trying to switch up now and suggest that there isn't this kind of communal alliance between the two, and unfortunately the thing that people forget, the whole purpose, I was saying, they think these aren't on face value, they don't think they're harmful tropes. They're like, oh, this whole Jewish people run the world thing. I'm like, bro, listen to me. You don't think, as like, you take a traditionally oppressed group and an oppressed group of people who have literally been the victims of a genocide, persecuted people, XYZ, and then the groups that want to persecute them are the ones now trying to create a division between these two different groups and saying, oh yeah, actually your group has nothing. Like these tropes are intentionally done that way to say, oh, black people have nothing, and then trying to say, oh, the Jews have everything, they actually can control everything, and trying to direct ire over there, all the while you're leaving the white supremacists to busy themselves with all the white supremacist shit they want to do in between the two. It's just like, oh my God.
And I researched it, actually. The CEOs of the majority of a lot of the largest banks and Wall Street firms happen to be Irish. And then I went down this rabbit hole. Actually, it turns out the last two Democratic presidents have also been Irish or part Irish. And then I went deeper into this rabbit hole and I found out that a lot of police in America actually happen to be Irish. And then I was like, oh my God, why has no one asked the Irish question? Because it's lying right there before all of us. It's laid itself out. Right but like on its surface, when you hear that shit, you're like, oh, okay, but that's silly. You would never say that. That's cartoonish. You wouldn't be like, the Irish are secretly trying to control the world, and the Irish are infecting politics and infecting media and all this kind of shit. Like the vast majority of news corporations in the United States are not run by Jewish people. There is a larger percentage of Jewish people in Hollywood. There's a lot of history behind that. It's not because they're trying to control the world. It's because in large part they were persecuted, and this was one of the fields in which they could work in. So there's a lot of, like, if you look at it like that, but no one ever asked the Irish question because it's absurd. If you were like, but and then once you realize that, you're like, don't you get it? Then the anti-Semitic conspiracy theories make no sense. Also,
it starts from a ridiculous position in the first place, because at the end of the day, what is the argument he's making? This whole argument is the reason, and what he's couching it around, that Jews control everything, is to say, okay, they're causing me harm, they control everything, so they're able to stop my bag and stop my money. Well, let's pretend that's even that's even the case. They have the wherewithal, and that's why
Why though, bro? Like, were you like, let's say the Jewish community just decided to become now? What the fuck were you doing? Like, so you were spewing anti-Semitism. So now your big issue, your big gripe for why the Jewish community is bad is because they don't like that. They're not fucking with you spewing anti-Semitism. I'm so sorry. Well, I'm like I keep and like the arguments and the straw man of continuing it to compare it to, oh, no one was upset when he was spewing anti-blackness. Are we living in a mythical universe where we act like the communities that are most upset about something isn't upset about the thing that impacts them the most? Black people are who are going to be the most upset about anti-blackness. And if we as Black people have continued, we are the ones, like, we're saving Kanye. You know what I mean? We love Kanye. We're going to defend Kanye. We're going to cape for Kanye. We're going to keep, coddling Kanye and making excuses for Kanye. Why are non-Black people going to be the ones to cancel him for anti-Blackness? Are we living in a world where we pretend like everybody else, our eyes, care about anti-Blackness more than us? Like they don't follow our lead on that? I'm like, not because we failed to punish him for anti-Blackness makes the Jewish community wrong for not wanting to tolerate his anti-Semitism. Like, no.
Yeah, that was a weird ass thing. Bullshit. That was such a weird angle. It's like Blair brought up earlier. It's like I think that, like, maybe white liberals tuned into this around the TMZ anti-blackness arc, but like, yeah, that's such a strange thing to like lay at the hands of the Black community to be like, well, did you not already check Kanye? And it's like, well, what the fuck,
Right. And to put it on Jews, it's like, what is your argument? Oh, the white people didn't care. Like, white people overall, not specific to Jewish people, or white people overall did not cancel him for anti-blackness? No, we know that. Like, why are we acting like white people are like, is this new? Is this new? Like, do you know white people to just be out there? If that were the case, if white people were out here matter about anti-blackness than you, we wouldn't be talking about anti-blackness all the fucking time. What are you talking about? I'm like, do you think I'm like the white people? I'm like, white people do not let their aversion to anti-blackness get them to like oppose real serious shit. Okay, like they defended police and all kind of other shit. You think they give a fuck about Kanye saying some anti-black shit? The fucking president be saying anti-black shit, and they be like, yeah, I like that. I like that.
And anti-Semitic shit too. Trump was so fucking anti-Semitic by the standards. Like, holy fuck. Like, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Listen, so I'm just like, it's ridiculous. And so, the white people weren't upset about anti-blackness. Yeah, bro. Of course, they never are. What are you talking about? We get upset, and if you're our white friends, say, "Oh yeah, that's fucked up." Yeah. That's how it goes. Like, what is behind? What are on your shelves, Lance? I'm trying to like be in your business, but I like,
so we got a bunch of plants. My chat has named them. So we have Figgy Smalls over there, as well as Plantifa. Those are two of them. And then behind me is a bunch of like literature. I like to flex to say that, like, oh yeah, I read the theory. So you got some Angela Davis about prison obsolete, that kind of shit. Just be like, oh yeah. No, I've read the theory. I literally have the theory behind me. Don't worry about it.
Right.
And then there's a Miss Pac-Man machine right behind me. That's the
one at the very the one on the top, the one on the top shelf. Is that Republican spider plant?
It's from no Republican spider plant. Whoa, I am slow today. Yeah, no, you can actually see the endless blue turning wheel of Twitter that is all Twitter is now. That was my brain when I was like Republican spider plant on that. But now I get it.
I love that. Now I'm gonna be in. Let me see what's behind you, Mike. Mike, this is your real room, right? Like, yeah, it's not a green screen. It's your real room.
Yeah, no, this is it. Yeah.
That's interesting. The wall. So the wall. What's the wall?
So what do you flex? What do you flex? Yeah.
So this is fake bricks.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This is foam that my cat rips off weekly.
What's your cat's name?
I have to reapply. Svetlana. It's a Russian name, so conspiracies with me being a Russian plant could proliferate, so we call her
really
Sveti.
Like that.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's a great cat name.
Yeah.
Svetlana goes crazy.
Yeah. She's a good girl, aside from her ripping down the foam padding in the wall. So yeah.
Larry, because you're a VTuber, we'll never know what's behind you.
I know. I'm boring. Though for a while, like I thought, should I get a set? Like, should I do something with this? Because I've had the green screen forever. I've had the same background since I started. like 6 years ago, which is just like a graphic in Final Cut Pro. Like it's not, it's nothing like no one made it for me, like nothing special. Because like I don't know, there's benefits to having a background, gives you personality, but there's also benefits to a green screen. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Oh.
Cat.
Yeah, this is Raheem.
Raheem.
Oh. I love
yeah,
the pictures that you post of Raheem on Twitter.
Yes, he's my pumpkin.
Oh.
He loves attention. He be a part of the foolishness. Like, oh, you want me to be sitting up here? I'll sit up here. Let's do it. Yeah. And then it's just anime. You want to go now, Kat?
Okay, goodbye.
Okay. He's like,
Matt has a green screen too, right?
I'm not using it right now though. Yeah.
Oh, so it's just like a okay.
That's
That's
actually in a
my
white
bad.
background. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it was like a green screen, but like turned white.
No, I'm just in a very my studio is a like a walk-in closet. So there's not
Oh, okay.
there's nowhere to put any shelves or anything. It's literally just the room, and then I have the green screen, so you can't tell I'm just in this small room.
I just living room it up. Like I'm just relying on my art, on my anime to carry me as on my couch. Like, oh yeah, that'll give me.
It's a good
vibes.
backdrop.
I like
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
it's like,
that's really good vibes.
Piccolo, Yamcha, Bulma, Vegeta.
So when I
and
was
them.
making the that intro to the Leftist Mafia, I was asking Olayemi, I was like, hey, do you have a character, maybe like DBZ or something? That was my suggestion, by the way, that you want to have. And you were like, what is it? Frieza or Vegeta? And it doesn't
Vegeta,
work.
Frieza.
You can't do face swap on cartoon. It was too scary.
Oh.
It was horrifying. Yeah, I'm not
It
going to
was
show it to.
horrifying.
Oh, it really was. It just did not work. The technology is not there yet. We'll get there eventually.
Yeah, no, I love it. Yeah, no, Frieza and Vegeta are my faves. Absolutely. I love Vegeta. I hate Goku. I have this Goku Black though, but even I don't like Goku, but that's just because it really was perfect for the color scheme of my home. But that's the only thing I don't endorse is Goku's presence on the wall, but everything else. Yeah, I don't mess with Goku. He never did it for me. But
Okay,
Vegeta, my guy.
Can I ask a genuine DBZ question? Gonna nerd out for 2 seconds. Did you not find that series was just an endless cycle of, hey, there's the worst possible entity or force about to destroy everything. It arrived. It has now weakened all of us, but not killed us. We must level up. We level up, and now our numbers go up. It's over 9,000! And then we defeat that entity, and rinse and repeat. Over and over and over. Or we maybe collect the Dragon Balls, and then we wish for the dragon to defeat the entity, but then someone kills the dragon or something like that. But like it was just like that endlessly, over and over and over. Just one person's opinion.
Yeah. But I love it.
And I loved it. I fucking rock with it.
Yeah, it's very heavy. Yeah, just Frieza. Listen, to me, Dragon Ball Z, the best part of Dragon Ball Z is the shit talking. Honestly, it's the monologue. First of all, I love a good monologue. I'm a monologue doing bitch in general. I'm like, woo! I love a monologue. That's why I like an antagonist who talks spicy for me, Frieza. I'm like, I really didn't like my boy showed up, really got hot. That's what I like. I love that. Like, episode just be stopped. They just stop. You just froze it in place while they talk they shit. Love it. Like, and you blow some shit up. Think about that. Imagine you just get to talk shit for like 6 episodes. Then like just like the place the fuck up.
It's so true though. In 6 episodes, like, I will destroy you. You cannot destroy me. I have more power than you'll ever know. And you're like, oh, eventually we'll find out. I just gotta wait until next week.
I love that. Love it deeply.
I've like just like dipped my toe in anime. Like I'm not like if I start with if I watch some Dragon Ball Z, where do I start? Because there's like a lot, isn't there? There's different versions or there's different like.
Oh yeah,
like
there's evolutions. They're like Pokemon. They start to evolve into different creatures.
Yeah,
Pokemon's gotten crazy. I can't even follow Pokemon. Too many.
Like
it's too many Pokemon.
Dragon Ball Z, and I'm not
So
like an
many.
anime connoisseur, but I started with Attack on Titan, and it was a very, very good entry into.
That's the one that Marjorie
the
Taylor
anime
Greene's in,
universe.
right?
AOC is in. That's the one that Paul Gosar posted. He posted a video with Marjorie Green as a Titan, and maybe that was Marjorie Green in it too. That was like.
But doesn't
slaying the
Marjorie
Titan.
Green resemble one of the characters quite sharply?
Oh,
it's
she's the Titan who ate Aaron's mom.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I've seen the photo
identical.
comparison. They seem like I have a hard time differentiating between the two pictures. To be completely honest with you.
There's also a Titan in there that looks identical to Rick Scott. I mean, identical, like based off of him.
Well, that guy
Deranged
looks
look
like
in
a
his
fucking
face
freak,
too.
anyways. Jesus Christ.
I'm really pleased in myself that I don't even know what these folk look like. And let me go look up Google Rick Scott.
You're mentally
my
so
God,
much more
Rick Scott.
healthier for not
You've
knowing
seen
what
Rick
they look
Scott.
like.
Snakehead Rick.
Wait,
Rick
you
Scott.
don't know Rick Scott?
Slender
Wait, you
Man.
know Marjorie Taylor Greene? Come on.
Yeah, I know, of course. I know that.
Yeah.
Whole-
You'll probably know Rick Scott when you see him, because once you see him, it's like burned into your eyes. You can't
But he looks
unsee
like-
him.
But he's
He
definitely
looks like a
giving
lizard
somebody.
person, like literally a lizard person.
I was just about to
Mhm.
say he looks like somebody who would have ordered the capture of all the X-Men. Like that's what he looks like. Very, very much so Stryker's boss. That's what it's giving. Yeah, but no, I never seen this man a day in my life.
Like Rick Scott and Mitch McConnell, I think probably the two craziest looking people in Congress.
That's a powerful.
Oh my
that's
God!
a-
Somebody just
you think
posted
so?
a
I
picture in the
think
chat
Let me see.
Well,
of the Titan who ate Aaron's mom and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Let me see who posted it. That.
Oh, shit.
Oh my God! It's Optimism.
it is actually pretty striking, to be honest with you. These are
It's horrifying.
there's a lot of there's probably a mathematical equation that determines how close these two images are to each other right now.
She ate Aaron's mom.
I gotta bring this up for my viewers here. This is freaking hilarious. Yeah, totally.
It's 1-to-1, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah, David, you got to start with Attack on Titan. It's so good that I even read the manga, and I've never read manga before, but
Well,
I had to
I've
finish
watched
it.
some
Ever?
anime. I'm not completely fresh on that. Like I've watched
Oh, okay.
a few animes, but in terms of like, because I was thinking about watching Dragon Ball Z, but I didn't know where to start with that in particular because there's a lot there.
Go Dragon Ball. If you're gonna
Dragon
start,
Ball.
like, if you want to do it and like truly, I mean, I personally, it might be at this point in my life, I'm not starting all the way. But if you want to do it, I say start at Dragon Ball. Good, because then at the very least, if you get tired and stuff, you will at least have been in the foundation that matter and not all the new shit. Like lots of people who love Dragon Ball Z, like myself, are not watching the newer things. So I'd say Dragon Ball, go Dragon Ball Z, go Dragon Ball GT. Do like
All
there.
right. I'll look
I
into
heard that Dragon Ball Z Super is like not nearly as good as Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, see, yeah, like new.
I
new
haven't
stuff-
seen it though, but
Yeah, new stuff don't just be. They be new.
yeah, it's the nostalgia probably too. But yeah. Oh, somebody says Super is Munyu. How's it going, Munyu? Says Super is best.
Sorry.
Oh,
I've never heard that
Berserk.
before. Super.
Berserk is supposed to come to Netflix. I hope we get it in the US. Super is good. Okay, so maybe I misheard that. I wonder who said Super was bad. Maybe it was Progressive Voice that told me that Super was bad. If so, then blame him for the misinformation. He's the one who told me it, and I'm just parroting it. I haven't seen it, so
That guy's full of lies.
yes,
That
blame
is full
Progressive
of-
Voice.
Actually?
No, he's a good guy.
Okay. All right. I'll be right back in 1 sec.
Sweet, I'm hosted now. What else is going on, guys?
Well, this is awkward.
Binder, give me some crypto updates here. What's going on in the crypto world? That shit is like, I feel like you're the expert there. I recommend your channel, your podcast to people whenever I cover crypto stuff. So yeah, what's the latest in the crypto world?
Sure.
The
Well,
latest
obviously
controversy.
this FTX story has been all over the news. That's it. That's been the crypto story. I mean, there's multiple tentacles here going into this with tons of companies and tokens and projects obviously feeling the pain of the FTX crash, which is affecting everything. But that's been it. FTX. That's been the main story. For people who don't know, FTX was one of the biggest crypto exchanges in the world. And a couple of weeks ago, a report from CoinDesk and a report from a anonymous crypto journalist who goes by Mike Burgersberg basically showed that FTX and its sister company, Alameda, were basically insolvent. They got, both of these reporters got a look at Alameda's books and looked at what they are actually holding, and they found out that these companies that the overarching FTX company, which was raising money, valuing it at something like how much was it valued at? Tens of billions, if not over $100 billion, if I'm correct, if I'm remembering correctly. This company that was valued at these billions of dollars actually had no liquidity. It was all their riches were all in worthless tokens that if they actually tried to sell, there was nowhere near the amount they claimed to have was there. In fact, one of the things they tried to sell off to keep the company going, which was one of their biggest non-crypto assets, was $400 million in Robinhood stocks. Like, that was what the company was built upon. So once this report came out, the CEO of the largest crypto exchange, Binance, decided that they were going to sell off all of their holdings of FTX's own crypto token, FTT. And when they did that and announced they were going to do that, a ton of people in the crypto space said to themselves, holy shit, if Binance is, liquidating their FTT holdings because they don't believe FTX is long for this world, we got to get our money the fuck out of FTX ASAP. So within something like a 2-day period, like $6 billion were moved off of FTX. And so FTX was fucked. And so they tried to raise Sam Bankman-Fried is the founder and CEO of FTX. People are familiar with him because he has, over the years, FTX was just founded in 2019. Sam Bankman-Fried was this tech wonder kid story of this under 30-year-old creating this huge crypto exchange in just a few years worth billions of dollars. He himself quickly was on one of the richest, the richest people list. He was worth tens of billions, if not more, for that time. And so, the whole FTX came crashing down. They actually reached out to Binance at first to see if they could do a deal. Binance announced that they were going to basically bail out FTX. They were going to buy it up. And so everyone was like, oh, whew, this is all saved. But then Binance also added an addendum that this is tentative based on, a due diligence investigation. Less than 24 hours later, Binance comes out and says, we did our due diligence. This company's beyond fucked. We can't help here. So they decided not to buy FTX. So FTX had nothing to do then, but to declare bankruptcy. They owe something like at least something like $10 billion to creditors. They do not have that at all. Sam Bankman-Fried, who was again reportedly one of the richest, on the richest people alive list, is now claiming he has about $100,000 left to his name. He's been, this whole company was apparently run by 10 roommates in the Bahamas. That has come out. The whole thing is just a mess. This was literally one of the biggest crypto companies. Sam Bankman-Fried was donating to all these Democrats and Republicans, trying to make himself like the major crypto player. He was involved in pushing various different crypto legislation. And, you had people talking him up, and here we are. He's basically sitting in the Bahamas waiting to find out what happens to him. The media is absolutely failing in covering his story. The whole thing is hilarious and ridiculous. But that's crypto, baby.
Well, wait. What about the anal beads? Can you verify that?
How does this guy even do this to begin? This shit keeps happening, right? Like, people are just creating money out of nothing, and then it goes nowhere, right, because they never had.
So this is basically the scam he did. Like, we know about Ponzi's and pump and dumps and things like that. What FTX did is a lot different. It's called the flywheel scheme. And basically what you do is you, for example, say you're creating your own token. I'm starting a company, and all of a sudden I'm making Binder token. And I decide to, let's say, hold let's say 60-70% of Binder token for myself. And then I, tell some investors that, oh, you could get in early, you can buy in really cheap, and then you release maybe like 10% to them, and they buy it up super cheap. So they're buying up hundreds of millions, if not billions, of this token, and that's 10% there. I'm holding 70%. And then you actually put the the other 20% on the market. Now that 20% is where the actual money is coming in. So that is basically how that token is fluctuating, because that's where the money's actually coming from. So people buy in, retail investors are buying up the token. So it goes from, like, let's say 50 cents to $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6. People are buying. This is going to be a huge Binder token's going to be big, people. And so all of a sudden you got this token with nothing backing it. It's worthless. But because people are buying it up and, like, the tulip craze, all of a sudden this token is worth $20. Now, only 10%, 20% of that token was actually bought for $20, $20 each, or, some people got in for cheaper, but they're the people who spent the money on it. But I can now say, oh, I was holding 70% of that. Each of those tokens I hold now valued at $20, baby. Doesn't matter that no one actually bought that, each of those tokens that I'm holding for $20. That's what the token's valued at now. I'm a billionaire. And I go out to investors. I go out to, the VCs, and I go, hey, I'm sitting on a multi-billion-dollar company. We are worth that. Look how much our token's worth. This is going to be big. They give me money. Oh, all of a sudden I got liquid cash from these VCs. What am I going to do with this liquid cash? Well, that's basically the flywheel scheme, the whole token thing. But then it continues where they get the VC money, and then all of a sudden, oh, we're going to buy, they treat it like it's revenue. And at the same time, if you're running an exchange, they're treating, like Sam Bankman-Fried was doing. He was treating his retail investors, like regular people who are depositing at FTX, he was treating their money as revenue. And instead of, like holding it or backing it or putting it in investments with, like how banks do or things like that, he was taking that money and sending it to Alameda, the sister company that was the hedge fund, to wildly speculate. And, he was basically gambling with his customers' money. This is completely unregulated. There's nothing to stop this. Any laws he broke is because of the fraudulent activity related to him, moving the money around or whatever. He'll get caught for like money, for like wire fraud or money laundering or something. But nothing he did with the flywheel scheme or any of that, none of that is illegal.
Which is wild, by the way. Like,
Matt,
the shit that people get away with crypto.
Professional background.
What's that?
What's your job, Matt? He
was a journalist. No. He was like a gaming journalist. He was in the heart of fucking Gamergate. If you know Gamergate, he was in the fucking the centerpiece of that.
No lines.
I'm an old man.
If you was gonna bet your money on it, do you think I know about Gamergate?
Oh, not even a little bit. You're famous on the internet. Come on, you're a woman who's famous on the internet.
Listen, I don't know nobody till they know me. That is I didn't know. You know how I know all of you? I see y'all say something about me. I'm like, oh.
The panel praised at some point.
The only thing I heard, I listened to Matt, and I was like, so they be lying. So somebody.
True. No wrong. Yeah.
Started.
No.
I just kind of stay away from this because the Bahamas, I hate when they have my country in mess, and I wanted the plausible deniability. I'm not intellectually qualified to figure out what I'm talking about this crypto stuff in general. So I've been trying to stay away from it. As soon as you said, I was like, oh no, they see me hearing about the Bahamas scandal. They know I know about it. I'm gonna have to call it.
I think that Matt's best work was the Libtard 01 expose. I feel like that is full of silver.
Or maybe the James Lindsay fucking saga that's taking place right now.
True.
That one is really good.
Saga.
And hey, hold on. I want to get out in front of this. I am the OG original person who posted James Lindsay with the picture of the NXIVM cult high-end member Nikki Klein and got blocked by him. I did that before he was kicked off of Twitter, before it was cool, okay? I want to get that out there. But since he has come back, since the account has returned, Matt Binder has been leading the charge and getting things to fucking trend on Twitter where people are posting pictures of James Lindsay and fucking Nikki Klein, and he's so mad. Like, these snowflakes, by the way, you know how they always call, like, fucking lefties, snowflakes, cucks, all this kind of shit? Like, he's straight up begging Daddy Elon right now. He's like, please stop it. It's really hard. All these people keep posting pictures of me with the pedophile cult. This motherfucker who's always talking about that shit.
Snowflakes is a pussy in the first place. Like, let's think about the things that we can say to you. Like, if I think you're soft, like I think you're like snowflakes, that's what you came up with. You already know the person who uses snowflakes is the person who is losing the roast. Like, so you already, that tells you every snowflake you ever been talking shit, and that's how you really go. Snowflake. You should have known when they called us back.
That's true. That's true. Matt, what's been going on?
I gotta say, I am. You know, I tried not to pat myself on the back, but I am truly proud of the James Lindsay thing. I love the fact that this guy will never be able to say "okay, groomer" to another, you know, teacher, LGBTQ person,
doctor, nurse, you name
doctor, it. Without his Twitter feed filling up with that photo of him literally sitting next to a woman he calls his friend, who was convicted sex trafficker Keith Raniere of the NXIVM, the leader of the NXIVM sex cult, one of his lieutenant commanders in the cult, who helped groom women as Raniere's sex slaves
and brand them and fucking brand them.
And on top of that, she's not someone who's come out and been like, I was brainwashed or I was a victim. No, to this day, she is his staunchest defender, his number one supporter. She's trying to get him out of jail right now with this whole narrative that the FBI planted evidence. This is a man who groomed apparently kids as young as 12.
As young as 12.
Allegedly raped a 15-year-old.
Yep.
And this woman is his biggest defender and helped siphon innocent victims to him for him to abuse. Yep. And these okay groomer anti-LGBTQ conservatives who see everyone they hate as pedophiles are hanging out with her left and right. I cannot wait for these people to get. I mean, they already got what's coming to them.
That motherfucker called breakfast cereals groomers. Do you remember that? It was a box of Fruit Loops, and it said like, "What are your pronouns? He, him, she, her, they, them." And he was like, "Groomer cereal." I was like, you were calling fucking breakfast cereals groomers while you were hanging out with the inner circle member of the fucking sex trafficking women branding ring? Like, holy fuck, that's bad.
Every accusation is a confession,
right? Over and over.
They could just come out. They could just come out and he could just come out and say,
account. Wait a second. You know, it'd be taking me a little minute to realize, you know, this woman has been in my notifications. This woman has talked shit on my Twitter. I think this person used to follow me. Like
Nikki Klein?
Yeah, bro. I see. First of all, James Lindsay talked shit on me like 2 years ago in 2020. So I blocked him then. But her for sure. I've seen this white lady, this face, like in my notifications before. I wish I remember what shit she was talking, but I didn't know. I told y'all I really stay away on my crimes.
I'm so excited.
I really don't get involved. Like I don't know this part of the internet. Like as soon as I see them, like these kinds of things, as soon as they show up in my notifications, I block instantly. And I don't give a shit. I don't care that they're gonna be like, you know, but James Lindsay, I do remember in like 2 years ago on Twitter, he was kind of one of the first people that started bothering me on Twitter before I even had a platform and kind of caused it to happen. There was this school segregationist Maud Moran and that works for she's a public defender, and she's running for like an education board position on a literal school segregationist platform. Like it just is racist as fuck. So they were like, oh yeah, you support school segregation, that's really racist. In the article and the interviews, and she was like,
old-timey racist.
Right, like old school, like you wildin' it. And so they were like, that's real racist. And she's like, oh, I can't be racist because I'm a public defender. And so, right. And I was like, ma'am, hold on, ma'am. Like, let's not invoke the job. You're very much so still a racist. Two things can be true. I'm sure your clients felt it as well. So when I say that, here it comes. And again, I probably didn't have 100 followers. There was no need. I don't know why, but that's because they existed a community of these are their homies. So probably sent, you know what I mean? Anybody that quote tweeted her or whatever sent it to this world. And he and his little followers started like harassing each other. And I was like, fuck y'all. Like we can do this. We can do this all day.
He called me a groomer on Twitter, maybe like I'd say close to 20 different times. Just like that would be his response. He would quote tweet me and be like, okay, groomer, every single fucking time until I started posting that picture of him and fucking Nicki Klein. And then he didn't get mad until his fans turned on him. When his fans all of a sudden were replying to it, it was like, I hate the Serfs. No fan of the Serfs, but can you condemn or explain what the fuck is going on here? And then it was like block. Instantly, and it was like that's when it was like it was too much, you know. So
yeah,
fuck them.
Yeah, first of all, that picture looks crazy. Like beyond the fact, I just seen the photo. Fuck
all of them.
Even without the background. Like again, this is what I keep saying. Here's the thing: these people are clearly like very hypersensitive. Then right, and like clearly their main gripe. All of this, like all jokes aside, these people are lame. Like that's really what their real issue is. Everything that they're really galvanized around is feeling like they're fucking losers, and so they create a hub and a space for other losers to say, hey, oh no, this loser shit is cool. Because again, okay, groomer is not a fucking cool. That's not a clapback. Like it's not cool. Snowflakes isn't cool. None of this shit is really doing anything. That's why they need to occupy in numbers. But if you just like clown them on the corniness, because fuck the lady's background, whatever she was accused of, that's even extra crazy. The picture itself looks fucking crazy. No non-loser fucking human being takes no picture. What the fuck is this? The fuck is this?
Yes.
I don't. If this was a stock photo, it would be viral for looking fucking crazy. Like I don't need to know what she does in her free time to realize that something is afoot. What the fuck is this? Just take it all in. Like
I have to say there's an added sort of sick part to that photo that I haven't really tweeted about because I actually felt uncomfortable even like putting it on my feed. But one of the victims of the NXIVM cult said that Keith Raniere, the leader, would have the women line up naked and spread their legs like that for them to take a group photo. Because he wanted photos of their so that is an added like fucking context to that photo. Yeah, that is so disgusting that I honestly didn't even want to. I was like, maybe if he really comes at me again, I'll have to unleash it. But he
hasn't blocked you yet.
Oh, he blocked me. He blocked
me.
But he's talking about me from behind the block.
Yeah, I know.
And you haven't put it out yet. Y'all are built really different than me. First of all,
I gotta tell you, I have more photos of different conservatives with Nicki Klein.
There's so many. There's so many. It's a treasure trove. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you, Matt. I think they all started being friends with her before they Googled her. I think that's what happened because she started getting into right-wing circles. No. Impossible. You think they support? Oh wow. Okay.
Let me tell you, James Lindsay took that photo that we're all looking at there. He took that photo in April of 2022 at like some stupid debate thing in like Milwaukee or whatever. And the panel that Nicki Klein was invited to be on was asking questions. The panel was called something like asking questions about the FBI and other three-letter agencies. What other expertise does Nicki Klein have to be on that fucking debate stage to talk about the FBI and three-letter agencies than her involvement with NXIVM? She was on that. I watched part of the debate. I tried to watch as much as possible. I went back and watched it. The entire time, she's trying to vaguely, without bringing up NXIVM, claim that the FBI regularly plants evidence on people. And Destiny, who we all have different feelings on, he's up there pushing back. So, I don't have a problem with people being up there if they were invited to, debate or whatever. But James Lindsay's on that stage with her, sitting next to her, backing up her argument, and even at one point brings up, it's really not fair if, like, the FBI could come at you and be like, oh, here you are looking at like I have digital fingerprints of you looking at 14 or 15-year-old child pornography. Oh, and you don't remember that. That's not fair. My mind was blown. He was trying to say that like they fabricated it or whatever. But the fact that he would use that specific thing
that's
there with
that's
her
damning.
On that stage,
you don't walk away from that.
Without it, I should clip it. And put it up.
You should.
Really.
That's okay.
Without a doubt. There was
you don't walk away from that.
What is her expertise on 3-letter agencies? She was a fucking actress on Battlestar Galactica.
Yep.
She was on there to run a cover for Keith Raniere in her crusade to get him out of jail. The dude is in prison for 120 years. That's how solid that case was. They got him on sex trafficking and like sexual abuse and laundering and an array of things. This dude is guilty as charged. Multiple victims from all over the place. Victims, poor teenagers from Mexico, all the way up to Hollywood actresses, all coming out and saying
human
what
trafficking
they did
and
to
shit.
him.
Yeah.
This dude is dead to rights, and this woman, the right wing, is sitting with and hanging out with and proudly defending, is his biggest defender. Okay, groomer my ass. These people are the fucking groomers. These right-wing fucking pedophile defenders.
You don't say much, but when you get in your bag, you sure to get to the bottom of that fucking bag. Don't you, man?
I'm gonna pause here.
Nice.
There we go.
Hell yeah.
No, I felt that.
Well, and to add to all the Nexium stuff, they also, all the right-leaning folks that want to like be cool with Nikki or whatever, Keith also was forcing abortions upon the women that he was essentially enslaving, and that doesn't really get talked about. But he impregnated, and this was according to testimony from one of the women, that she testified that her and her 2 sisters were all impregnated by Keith, and he forced all of them to essentially terminate those pregnancies. Yet, while claiming to be so pro-life, they just want to overlook a vast majority of these issues with what Nikki was involved in. And I find that typical, unfortunately.
So fucked up. Like the amount of shit, like HBO, I think, has like a 6 to 8 episode entire documentary on how bad that shit was. Like when I saw James Lindsay first palling around.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
No,
interrupt. They just put out season 2 of it.
Oh, there's seasons. Sorry, I didn't know there was there wasn't enough shit in the first. We gotta fucking have season 2. Goddamn.
They didn't even get to Nikki Klein in season 1. In season 2, she is the fucking star. She is all over that shit.
I can't wait to watch season 2.
Just came out right now.
Oh yes, I will gobble that shit up.
Perfect for this shit to come out. Like it's yeah.
But isn't that fucked?
Called?
Isn't that fucked?
The Vow.
Yeah. Season. Okay. By the way, like a content warning for anyone who wants to watch season 1. It's intense. There's the worst shit possible of human beings doing to human beings done in that shit. But the thing that really fucks with me is that in this current culture war where it's just like the right will not shut the fuck up about like groomers, pedophiles, anyone who's gay or trans or intersex or anything. All of them are groomers or pedophiles. In the midst of all that, they are completely fine palling around with these motherfuckers. Or
they're bigots. Like that's the problem. Like because they're bigots, the whole thing is disingenuous. It's a politics of gaslighting. We need to stop letting them reframe and adopting their language and shit. Ain't no fucking culture wars. It's just a bunch of bigots hating on every marginalized community. That's all the fuck it is. That's why every time, yes, there is a litany of hypocrisy. It's in our face. It's plain as fucking. That's all we got is hypocrisy. We got Herschel Walker talking all this shit, and look what he's doing. We got Madison Cawthorn. Look what he's doing. We got Marjorie talking all this shit. Look what they're doing. We got Matt Gaetz talking all this shit. Look what they're doing. We got Donald Trump talking all this shit. Look what they're doing. They're talking all this fucking shit, but look what they're doing, because all they're really saying to you is we fucking hate other, Anybody we deem as other, anybody that's not us, anybody that's a part of a marginalized community, fuck them. That's all it means. All right. The problem is when we keep trying to take all these like fake pretenses and all these obviously disingenuous ass bullshit they say to us, and then when they act inconsistent, we're like, hey, you don't see how you're being a little inconsistent? And they're like, fuck you. Like, because at the end of the day, they're not. Their one philosophy is fuck you. That's the one philosophy. That's the only
true.
That's the only politic they practice. They don't give a fuck about none of this shit. Oh, groomers. They don't give a fuck about children. These are people who literally get up and 2 seconds after children have been shot to death at schools, and they're like, my guns. You know what I mean? These people are talking about all this crime and all this bullshit.
True. So
really,
true.
That's really how they give it up. That's really how they give it up. They don't give a fuck about any of this stuff, right? Do they? Do they care at all? No, they don't. They don't. They're full of shit because all they really care about is them fucking selves and lying in their pockets. That's the real tea. They don't give a shit about no goddamn children. They don't care what Nicki Klein did or whoever was hanging out with whomever. What?
Or fucking child beauty pageants, or fucking child marriages, or the Catholic fucking Church. You never hear them say shit about that shit. Oh, it's like, oh, this has been institutionalized in Canada. All of a sudden, all these people are being like children, Indigenous kids being raped by the Catholic Church. There's your story. There's your conspiracy. It goes from the highest levels of government all the way down through the church to the kids. You have it. It's in front of you. You don't need to go after Balenciaga, like fucking ads, all that other distractions. Here are the pedos. We know who the pedos are. What are you doing?
Yes, they don't care. They don't give a fuck about none of that. They don't give a damn about none of that shit. None at all. Nothing at all. And that's the problem. Is too often we allow Republicans to play a politics of distraction with us. They distract us with all these things and we go for it every fucking time. It's literally just political fetch. They're like, oh, let's talk about the crown. Let's talk about this. And they're like, and we're responding to all their bullshit. Fuck them and all their nonsense. Like when you think about it, when you're really honest, and it's funny, I think about this all the time because I'm on Rising and they'll be so fucking mad that I'm like not interested in some stupid fucking conspiracy nonsense that they've come up with to discuss. And I'm like, yo, there's like real shit happening on the other side. Like I couldn't be plugged into this. Like I'm just here about Republican Spider-Man for the first time because I'm busy trying to figure out how to decarcerate. You know what I mean? Because I'm busy trying to decarcerate prisons. People.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks for teaching us that, Mike.
All kind of serious shit happening on the side. Like think about it. In the same, there's no fucking reason why there was just a shooting. Like think about this. You have little hate crimes that just happened. A shooting at a gay club, gay people dead. But yet the fucking leading narrative that we're discussing in the LGBT community is some fucking groomer nonsense that they fucking, because it's a distraction. That's all the fuck it is. A politic of distraction to focus on the bullshit and the depravity that they want to project onto other fucking people. That's all it is. We need to stop wasting our time engaging in their bullshit nonsense. They don't, and another fucking thing to the culture war nonsense. If other people have something they're fighting for and you oppose what they're fighting for, you don't both have a cause. That's not what I. One group has a cause and you oppose their shit. And you know what's evidence to that? Because again, on the other side, nobody has time to even know all these fucking actors and all this bullshit and stuff because it's all so much trivial shit. It's just a bunch of other white people talking and complaining and saying the same fucking nonsense and hateful shit on the other side. Whereas other people are trying to like fight for rights and stuff, and then you turn around and you go
or exist. Or exist. Like trans people, like, I just want to exist, please. Like that's it. Yeah. Like there's no like it's getting in your face, it's fucking in front of you. No, I just want to be here. Yeah, that's it.
Like, why should I have to like respect somebody else and like what?
Yeah, pronouns. I don't know how to use pronouns. I haven't used them my entire life, like in every interaction I've ever had with another adult ever. How do I have to learn this? It's really complicated to me. It's like, this is a you thing. This is a burden. Yeah. This is a cross to bear. God damn, that sucks.
That's what gets so frustrating about covering this stuff. It's just all of this is, to me, is so just like it's normal to just not care about what people want to do with their own lives. Like to have to explain to an audience why these people are wrong, why they're bigots. Like it feels so like needless, because to me it should be obvious. It should be obvious that, hey, these people are obviously wrong. They're trying to control people's lives. People that just want to be who they are, just let them live their lives. Like to have to explain all of this and like to have this to be like a running narrative for this to be the thing that the Republicans ran on. Like one of the main pillars they ran on was being anti-groomer or anti-trans.
Wasted so much money.
Insane, so completely insane. And because of that, like it forces us to at least it feels like it forces us to have to engage with it because we have to push back on that garbage. Because if we just let it go, then it seems like we're running away from that topic, right? Like it seems like that we are ceding ground to them and their argument when they are wrong, clearly. But to have to explain that they're wrong already now puts the argument on the same level in a way, because we have to explain why they're wrong. It's there's no winning. Like you either ignore it and it expands, or you address it and you
play defense. Like you play defense the entire time.
The problem is the way we do it. We do it like, and I don't mean we as in us, but on our side of the aisle, right? There's a way that you can say the sky is blue as grass and green and leave it at fucking that, right? Like the only time anybody questions whether or not the sky is blue and the grass is green is if you start trying to have a fucking discussion. Like, let's discuss color and maybe this and blah, blah, blah. And that's what people do. Instead of just calling the shit what it is, and you know what I mean? What it obviously plainly is, people go, okay, well, let's pretend, let's, try to remember maybe he's saying this and understand it. And they're always trying to look for some fucking good faith basis and some bad faith shit. And that is the problem. And then what happens is you take some nuggets, some bullshit, some wild shit that they were saying, because at the end of the day, the reason the status quo becomes the status quo by being normalized because we hear it so fucking much. You know what I mean? Like it becomes pervasive and it's normal. So at the end of the day, their batshit crazy bigotry is the same thing. They're just constantly rebranding it, right? Like, oh, they ran in this anti-groomer thing. What they ran on was homophobia. They've always been running on homophobia. They're just packaging it differently, right? But if we have these conversations and instead of just simply calling it that, what we do is we go, let's start having deep dives and breakdowns and blah, blah, blah. And maybe this and the other side. And we always trying to other side some bullshit. No. And I don't know why we play that game, because they don't fucking do it with us. Have you ever seen me literally have the stats, the studies, the degrees, the whatever, all the reasons why you say that? Do they humor reality? They won't even humor reality.
Reality is different.
Like, they won't even humor reality. And we're over here weeding through fucking bullshit, trying to like, oh, maybe. So that's the problem. It's like, yeah, address their bullshit. But address it. Just address it and move on. But instead, what we do is we give them our platforms. You know what I mean? We talk about it. We let it become the thing. We embrace. There's no reason why like our side of the world, whatever. Don't before anybody shoot me with their big gun, but the left, liberal, whatever you want to call it. There's no reason this side of the aisle should have embraced culture wars the way that they did, like culture wars and all this different nonsense. There was no fucking culture wars. They were the same old school bigots doing bigoted shit. But instead, by doing that, it automatically paints it as a two-side thing. When that's not what it is.
And by the way, it's so much easier for them. If they just say, hey, by the way, CRT basically means that all white people are racist and white babies are racist and it's the most scary thing ever. You don't want CRT in your schools. That's like, there's so much more work to do where you push up on the other direction, where you're like, it's like a boulder up a hill. You're like, okay, so that's not true at all. This is not taught in schools. And that's not what this is about. These are actually trying to analyze how society works. But it's like, already you've lost it. Because the person on the other side is like, I heard this means that there's racist white babies, and this fucking makes me angry, and now I want to go into the school system. I want to stop this shit. I want to make sure that no one ever says that white babies are racist, and everyone is so angry then, and that shit fucking sells. It gets people in the fucking
never got in the weeds. Like, imagine if when critical race theory first came up as a thing they mentioned, rather than instead of a bunch of people who, this is the problem. You have to recognize when you are not the person most qualified to have certain discussions, right? Like, there's certain conversations I don't wade in because I'm not going to be the best advocate for it, because I'm not as informed, but I have a louder voice and they're going to listen to me. And now we done fucked up and muddied up the fucking conversation listening to me. And that's what happened with critical race theory. None of these motherfuckers, journalists, lawyers, any of them, none of them knew what the fuck it was. They don't know it. They didn't study it. They're not familiar with it. But instead of just fucking coming out and saying, actually, I don't need to know what it is, because this is actually just a fake. This is a pretend. This is a straw man argument just to attack black shit. Any books by black people, anything about black stuff.
It's true.
But they could have, and they should have come out like that. But instead, what did they do? Come and get in the weeds with them, but no one knows what the fuck they're doing. So now when this big muddy thing that appears like there might have been some legitimacy in people, and now it becomes about this critical race theory, rather than just immediately dismissing a stupid fucking argument. And then we in the weeds. We in the weeds. Now we in the weeds.
Well, and they're so good at setting the agenda. I mean, think about the timing of all of this. Like, the critical race theory thing came after the George Floyd protests, which is, for the first time, you have like white suburban people understanding, oh wow, maybe people of color have a point that the police are violent and they brutalize minority communities, and then CRT drops, and they're really good. Like I feel like we're always the ones who are playing defense, and they're always the ones who are playing offense. They're always the ones who are creating the news, and we're always the one who are reporting on the news that they say. So there's absolutely something to what you're saying. It's difficult to like let it go, because like you have to respond, but how do you get to that point where we're not just on defense and we're playing offense too? That's what's hard for me.
Frame it. I think about this all the time, like as a lawyer, right? Because it's how you frame arguments, how you use language, how you let someone craft a narrative. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's saying what. If you allow the original person to determine what language you use, you've already fucking lost. And that is the problem. It does always seem like we're playing defense because we are always responding. We're always adopting how we just let them frame the narrative instead of checking this. Like I remember once I was having a debate with a white guy in law school, and I was talking about gentrification, and he responded to me, and say like he's trying to oppose my argument about gentrification, but he used the word gentrification, and I said, hey, you need to say redevelopment. The minute you said gentrification, you fucked up. You conceded my fucking point. You let me set the framing for how we see it. Once you accepted the bad framing, that's what it is, and that's what we do. Instead of, you can't let them have that fucking narrative. Abandon their narrative. They don't know what to do with it. If you watch anytime I'm on Rising, really I abandon their bullshit. I'm not in the web. You fuck that. Like, you know what I mean? And when the first time I came out Rittenhouse, I'm not gonna have whatever stupid ass conversation y'all are usually accustomed to having about Rittenhouse. Let's talk about a slippery slope on self-defense being, you know what I mean? Like how this will, in fact, a whole thing they don't understand because they don't fucking understand it. They don't know anything. All they know how to do is frame stupid ass arguments, and we get caught up in it. So just
actually, slippery slope is a slippery slope. It's a logical fallacy. So just so you know.
No, that makes like the lawyer response to it is actually, it makes sense, because like I cover, like the first thing that I saw from you from Rising was the trans segment, and like it was so effective because of the way that you like easily swatted it aside.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
So, yeah, no, that's a great point. That's a great point.
Exactly. That's all. That's what it is. Is like you dismiss it, and it works both ways, right? Like, and as a lawyer, if someone has an argument that you can't beat, you can see, you know what I mean, or a smaller argument, instead of making that argument bigger and stronger than what it is, you can see their good argument from the beginning, and you fucking swat it away. There's so many times that like, you know what I mean? There's so many times Robbie's had like, there's a segment he does a radar on something. I don't even remember what it was about. He was trying to rehabilitate the DeSantis about something, right? It was like, it actually turned out, it's like this thing that's been going around, that DeSantis actually did this law. It turns out he didn't do it. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, yeah, if he didn't do that, I'm not gonna nail him to the cross on that, or whatever's valid. Moves on. Now let's talk about all the fucking shit I got about DeSantis, and I moved in now before he knows it, you've lost your steam because you didn't get me. Fine, I don't give a fuck. Concede your point. Now let's talk about all the other shit. You know what I mean? And that's the problem, is we get too overwhelmed with trying to play that game with them. Rewrite the game. Like, why are you? So to me, that's the approach.
That's smart.
Yeah, I dismiss them all the time. I think it's a bad argument. Fuck that argument. You know what I mean? I'm addressing it and move on.
Can I just say, I don't know if all of your audiences or any of you know this. Have you seen the bombshell about DeSantis that just came out? Like the whole Guantanamo Bay shit?
Oh, yeah.
Where he was a torturer?
Okay, so he wasn't personally a torturer. He was someone who people who were tortured would have to speak to and would lie to them about being the good cop, basically being like, hey, by the way, are you being treated well? What scares you? And then learn which torture was the most horrifying. This is a first-hand account from someone who was there while they were being tortured, and apparently during some of the worst torturing would be laughing in the background because he was the one who fed other people information about that. And I was like, how does no one know this about DeSantis? This is horrifying.
You're saying that Ron DeSantis is a bad person?
I'm saying worse than we knew. Worse than we knew, okay?
I can try to tell y'all, on my side of the internet, we fucking know.
Black Twitter was all over this.
I have a whole compilation video of just telling people, listen, Ron DeSantis is going to be a fucking problem. Me and my daddy, actually, I was very honored to meet my daddy in this conversation. When I went home to the Bahamas, my daddy was like, oh, they really sleeping on Trump. It's going to be Trump. I'm like, Daddy, I'm fucking telling you, open your eyes. DeSantis is a fucking problem, Daddy. He's like, oh no, it's coming Trump. The Trump thing come out, and my dad didn't come out and admit it. He just didn't say shit about Trump no more. I was like, you see the devil I've been trying to tell you about. That there is not fucking playing. He's not fucking around. That right there. He's more sinister. You know why? Because there's less buffoonery to it. Trump's buffoonery is what allows people to pretend like he's less sinister and dangerous and insidious as he is. And people are so focused on the glitz and the glam and the attention and the fanfare around that level of clownery and the showmanship of it, they allow a more insidious, a far more, intelligent character to like the DeSantis to do wicked stuff in the shadows, because DeSantis is fucking evil.
And also, Trump doesn't believe a lot of that shit, by the way. I don't think Trump legitimately in his heart of hearts was always like, you can see in the past, right? He was like pro-choice. He was kind of friendly towards LGBTQ plus in the sense that he worked with them. So he was an outright bigot kind of stuff. But like DeSantis legitimately is willing to push legislation that will affect like trans people, gay people, LGBTQ plus, you name it. Like DeSantis is a true believer. That's the fucked up shit. That's what people need to know about him.
Yeah. A scary man. I've been you.
Really scary.
Yeah, very, very much something for us to be highly concerned about. Yeah, I've been you. I've been Clark DeSantis with some scary shit.
It's like fascist whack-a-mole. Like one goes away, another one pops up.
True.
This will go away. Some other fascist who's more scary will pop up. Like, how long are we going to be doing this shit, man? It's really frustrating and demoralizing.
Listen, and now they own Twitter.
True. No, they run Twitter too. Like, I don't know about y'all, but like my replies have been, they've been filling every single reply. It's like, that line, like, I'm something of a scientist myself. Like, now my replies are like, I'm something of a neo-Nazi myself. I'm like, oh wow, this never used to be this bad. I used to get hate. I used to get, you should unalive yourself, blah blah blah, you're a race traitor, all that weird shit. But I never got the it just filling up with fucking full on right wing, like neo-Nazi shit. That's the new Twitter. That's Twitter 2.0.
Were y'all on the mass purge list thing they did? Because I was. One of my followers sent it to me. That's the only reason I knew, but I'm assuming y'all got to be on the list. If I'm on the list, y'all got to be on the
list. I thought I was, and then someone in my Discord said no, and I'm like, this feels like I'm not as metal as I thought I was. Like, that would have been pretty metal to be part of that group,
and that's hilarious, because in my mind, I thought I might not be like, oh, I'm not. You know what I mean? Like, I might look at how I turned out. You wanted to be there, but it's true. They put me, boy. They said, I'll forget lines, forget over there. Make sure she's there.
What about you?
We got to make our own list.
Wait, I want to hear everyone. All of y'all, are you on the list?
I didn't check.
I don't think I am. I only went through a couple of screenshots. I went through like 3 or 4, and I'm like, okay, I can't. I don't care if I am. But nobody sent it to me, which
Someone sent it to me. That's the only reason I knew.
Yeah, I couldn't go through it all, so I don't think I doubt that I would be on, but who knows?
Hold on, Matt, confirm that y'all aren't on the list so I can make this about me being black. Come on, tell me along on the list.
I want to be on it, though.
You're on the list?
You were?
But okay, good. Hold on, but it's still there. Matt is the next people of color on the
No, I'm half indigenous. I should be in the triage.
How many people? We have a lot of people on this list. Wasn't there? There was like thousands of people, right?
It was like 5,000, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys weren't on it.
I thought them white man out, Matt. Thousands of people left 3 of them white men out. Damn, man, they got me and you. We knew. The white man was sure.
I know. Why was I being left out? Come on. I'm as white as mayonnaise is delicious. Come on now.
I actually found out I was on the list because my sister texted me. It was like, did you know you're on this list? And I'm like, what? And I checked. Yeah.
Listen, that's a scary text to get. Like, you're on this list. Did you see it? And you're like, wait, what kind of a list?
You're on the
Illuminati. You're the last one. Illuminati. You gotta fess up.
I heard it was lazily put together, though. I heard it was like a Twitter list by some like prominent like anti-fascist person, and it was like just a list of who they followed or something like that. It was something weird like that.
Oh.
Oh, look at y'all not being followed by the anti-fascists. Look that was looking like you see the T. That's why he was in trouble again. Look how y'all ain't made the guys back.
We have to do better to get on the next list.
Yeah,
That's
That's
true.
for sure.
Hey, on a totally serious note, I should say, by the way, before, I have not heard if the Illuminati is on the list yet. Before that is like revealed, a lot of serious activists who do a lot of really good work. And shout out to Chad Loader, by the way, who has been targeted by Andy No, as well as a lot of fascist communities who does a lot of really good work and activism online. Those individuals, the ones who are on the front lines a lot of the time, especially like a lot of those Twitter accounts, like you know, the what is it, the John Brown Book Club kind of shit, where they're actually like actively fighting up against people online. They're actually targeted, like legitimately targeted. Like Andy No actually targets those kind of groups, kind of thing. So
100%.
you know, I'm joking about the fact that I wasn't, you know, metal enough to be on that list, but like, you know, Chad Loader has to deal with that shit on a regular basis. Like, they've been actively targeted, as has their family, as has their friends, kind of thing, because they're like, you know, always going up against Andy No. And anyways, Illuminati, sorry, reveal the truth.
Oh, I don't even know what this list is. So
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Said posted without comment just for research purposes. The white men weren't sure if they wanted to listen. The white woman even never heard of the fucking list.
The anti-fascist list.
Damn.
There you have it, folks.
So there's a list made of apparently 5,000 Twitter accounts that are Antifa. Like, these are the CEOs of Antifa, the super soldiers of Antifa. It's nonsense, but it's just basically a list for all, like, the far right to be able to identify leftist accounts. And, like, you know, they are the true snowflakes. They are the true fucking, like, you know, they're the ones who actually want to censor. They're the 1984 George Orwell, you know, groupthink kind of shit. They want to make sure that every single person who's on this list is, like, flag Elon Musk, make sure they got kicked off the account, that kind of shit.
Well, that's
has it even worked? Like, have people actually been banned off that list?
I don't think so. I mean, I've seen that a bunch of left wing, like, other than those people you just mentioned, like, it's weird because I've seen a bunch of leftists get suspended. Like, I saw Andrew Lawrence of Media Matters get suspended this morning, and Dean Baker, the economist, got suspended this morning. But then a few hours later, their accounts were reinstated. And then I'm thinking, like, okay, so obviously there are, like, campaigns to, you know, get certain accounts suspended, and maybe, like, each account based on their own follower numbers or whatever. And I can tell you, I'm pretty sure having a verified badge helps you not get suspended, because I no doubt in my mind
it's bougie as
they've
fuck.
tried to suspend. Yeah. There's no doubt in mind they've tried to suspend me before, and I just never have got suspended because I have the the blue check. But that's Chad Loader, like you mentioned, and a few other Antifa accounts suspended this whole time, weeks now. They're the only ones I've seen Andy No specifically point out to Elon Musk. It really does seem like if Andy No specifically said this person should get banned, then Elon Musk seemed to have listened to him. Because those are the only ones that have been permanently suspended. Again, number of leftist accounts have been suspended, probably mass reporting, but eventually I guess Twitter needs a real reason to suspend those people, so they unsuspend them. But with these specific Andy No, fingered accounts, I guess they've looked really hard for a reason. I still would love to know the exact tweets that got these accounts suspended. I don't see anything that
with Chad. I actually know Chad Loader was one of the first people to be reporting. I think they were the first ones to tweet about how there was a huge data breach in France for like the whole Twitter account.
But did Twitter actually tell him that though, or is that just his assumption?
His assumption. Oh, sorry, their assumption.
Yeah,
it's they them.
What?
They're they them.
I'm sorry, I didn't know. Yeah, okay, yeah. But I want Twitter to say what tweet got him suspended, because clearly that is journalism. That's
no, I know it's reporting. They're reporting on what happened. Speech. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
What the Intercept very clear. The Intercept that the only thing that'll get you suspended, according to Elon Musk, is calls to violence. Reporting on a breach is not a call to violence.
Yeah, I agree.
They said that Chad was ban evading because they had a separate account that they logged into during their original ban. But it was some weird bullshit excuse like that. There's an Intercept article that talks about how Andy No has basically been snitching on these leftists, and whoever Andy No
they're all snitches.
Elon
all the
Musk
writer snitches.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All in better than me because they playing around people's Twitter accounts. If you do something like that to me and get me suspended, you gotta come see me in the street. I'm gonna fuck you up. Like I'm gonna like I don't know if the rest of these people. I noticed these people be taking their Twitter suspensions much better. Like acting like it's this light work. Fuck that. I built my Twitter built by bricks. You get me suspended, come fucking see me. Like we have to fight. Like we have to. It's gonna be a fucking brawl and beat your ass over Twitter. Like fuck. If I think about Instagram, whatever it is, I'm like you playing around with people's like platforms they really had to fucking build and stuff, and they do meaningful shit with out or what like. You silly and I'm beating someone's getting their ass beat. That's all I know. That's all I don't know who they're getting their ass beat. That's crazy.
People who are thinking of leaving Twitter because of Elon Musk. People who are like on their own, like not getting spent. People who are leaving Twitter because of Elon Musk. If you do not do that, do not like look what just happened. Two of the most prominent banned right wingers came back. Carl Benjamin of aka Sargon of Akkad and James Lindsay. And in a matter of days, they're both screeching on their Twitter account that they're going to file lawsuits for defamation because everyone's calling them groomers and pedophiles.
Okay.
Do not leave Twitter. Use Elon Musk, weaponize Elon Musk's politics against these motherfuckers because they are self-immolating. They are melting down.
I agree 100%. I just got to say this about Sargon of Akkad because we've already explored James Lindsay. Everyone knows about him. Sargon of Akkad is one of those motherfuckers who's all about lowering the age of consent and has also had conversations with straight up people who at this point have been arrested for child pornography but defended them. He defended the shit that they were saying. Like at a certain point, like Amos Yee was straight up making jokes about raping kids and all that kind of stuff. And the Sargon of Akkad was fine defending that, like, and saying like, oh, it's just jokes. Oh, no, it was just jokes. He's joking. Don't worry about these things. And you're like, no, okay. And as Matt is saying right now, the reason he's flipping out on Twitter is that he's like straight up like, hey, by the way, I don't want people to post these like quotes. Don't post the quotes. Don't post the videos. Don't post the evidence. Basically, is that?
Yeah, I mean these guys cannot take even the smallest spoonful of their own medicine. They melt down. They have created harassment campaigns against people throughout their entire careers, and the second the tables are turned on them, they break down. And it's incredible too, because these are two people with like 300,000 plus followers on Twitter. You think people would be running to their defense. James Lindsay gets like, he's lucky if he breaks like 100 likes on his tweets. Who are these people that follow them? Are they even real? It doesn't seem like it. These people are live in like paper houses. They have nothing. They can be taken down so easily. They got nothing.
Yes. Yes, no, that's fact. It's all because any support for them is flimsy because at the end of the day, the kind of bullshit that they spew, people cannot even with their full chest, with their face, with their name, support that nonsense and show themselves to be fans and continue to walk amongst us in a regular. They can't, like, no matter the shit, your little, right-wing supremacist echo chambers that you create online is not the real world. You cannot go keep your job, go into the regular community and go interact with the rest of us talking that shit. And that's why at the end of the day, they will never have the same kind of support when it comes to this online stuff. That's why they hate Twitter so much, because on Twitter it's real. Like, I can show you my face and my name and my this and that and say this is not something I'm ashamed to say. But if you want to go be a bigot, if your whole bag is bigotry, you gotta hide in this. Like I said from the beginning, and remember earlier what I said, I gotta have my face there just so I could really fight you, because it takes something away. And that's what, at the end of the day, if the only people who support you are just a faceless, nameless people who will not get behind that, you on your own, you ass out. And that's why it's better for us to stay on Twitter and bully them off, because they're soft. Elon Musk owns the whole shit, and he out here, just imploding every day.
Also, you being on Twitter is Elon Musk pretends all the time, like he constantly hypes up, oh look, largest ever daily active user amount,
and reduction in hate speech. Apparently I saw that graph. It was like PragerU style. It's like hate speech
reclassified what hate
I know
speech is. That's
I was like, what is hate speech to you? For you to be like
but my point bringing up him like propping up how many users they have is that it's pointless in terms of Twitter's revenue model.
Yeah.
Who cares how many users you have if the advertisers don't want to spend the money with you? In fact, if you have a ton of users
crash the
and
site.
no one and no one
gonna
pays
crash the
for
fucking
the
site.
servers, so everyone should be using Twitter and just continue to advocate for people not to advertise on that website because it will give your company terrible PR.
No, dead ass.
We can take Twitter down.
Peak engagement while plummeting ad revenue.
That's the last thing I'm gonna say before I hop off. That like before I hop off, y'all. But no, that's my last thing I'm gonna say. Like he's just so not sharp. He always misses the fucking point. Like the night when everyone's tweeting like, oh, the ending Twitter party, and he's like, oh, you see, like, look at how many people are on here. And I'm like, yeah, bro, that's why we're saying this shit's gonna crash. You done fired everybody who fucking maintains the infrastructure, and now it's over. It's gonna crash. Bro, that's the point. Like, this is what we're fucking saying. It's gonna crash.
I mean, I feel like that's the perfect cap on a show that's called the Leftist Mafia, right? Hey, Elon, we're gonna take your website out.
Okay, wait, hold up. Before we end, we have to use our powers as the Leftist Mafia to uncancel one person. Who we uncanceling? Who gets it? Who gets uncancel? And it's hard, right?
I got a recommendation.
Okay.
Will Smith. It's been enough
Wait,
time.
what? When?
Apologize.
When was Will Smith canceled? What, for the slap?
The whole slap thing. I mean, he's apologized by now. I think he should. I think he should be back into.
I vote yay.
I want to uncancel Will Smith, and then I want to propose, and we can address it next time. I propose we cancel Amy Schumer for coming out and wanting to cancel him with that bullshit she was talking about. And she was like, "Oh, I couldn't. Oh, I needed to take some time off."
Oh God.
Cancel her.
I'm with you on that.
Thank you.
Yep, I'm with you on that. She's been canceled in my mind since like 2014.
Oh yeah, long time ago.
All right, great, y'all. This is amazing.
Wait, before you leave, plug your shit. Do the thing.
Oh, yes.
A lot of people watching.
Follow me at Miss Olurin on all things, MSOLURIN. Follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, on all the things. I have a Substack called Illuminaughtii that you should subscribe to. I put out an essay every month. I put out one today. I just put out an op-ed in The Nation about why I'm not leaving Twitter, and neither should you. And I have an op-ed coming in Teen Vogue in like a week.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Yes. Now y'all to do.
See ya.
Who wants to go next? Oh, I got to reframe all these things now.
Well, I'll be jumping off now as well, so I'll go next. I'm the Rational National. Hey, what's up? TheRationalNational.com. I'm like falling asleep in the chair right now. So you know.
East Coasters.
My son gets me up at like 5 a.m. It's insane. But yeah, and at David Doel on Twitter, DOEL.
You're weak.
Matt Binder's a dad too. That's why he's talking
Matt,
shit.
I don't know how. Is it coffee? Like, what do you do? How do you do it?
I don't know. I drink a lot of soda.
Cocaine
I
Bear?
don't go to even when I'm not streaming though. I don't usually go to bed early. Maybe one night every now and then I'll crash before like I don't know 1. But I would say my normal time at conking out it's like maybe 2, 3, and then I'm up to get my kids to school probably around. Luckily, I sleep in the morning, and the partner my wife takes care of the kids and gets them ready, but I take them to school. So I'm up at like, I don't know, like 6:30, 7 a.m. So I'm not up at 5. I was there, but now I'm not.
Well, I'll get up at 5 and then fall back asleep to like, 7-ish. But still it's, I don't know. I can't imagine having 2 kids. One's enough.
I'll tell you this. Once you have one, the
weirdest
other one
plug.
is just like it really doesn't even.
What? I can't even imagine. It's that.
You could add as many kids as you want now, and it won't make a difference. Just keep. You can just.
Not the way I overthink.
After 2 mathematically.
The only difference for me would be, 2 is no different from 1. But if you add more than 2, then you probably have to get. If you have a car, probably have to get a new car because more than 2 kids ain't gonna fit in the back. But other than that, I guess you might need another bedroom. Yeah, if you add 1 more kid and have 2, there's no difference between 1 or 2 kids. But beyond that, yeah, there's some life change, I guess.
I'll stay on for the rest of you exiting.
Oh, right. Okay. All right. So sure. So I guess I'll go next after that whole spiel. YouTube.com/Matt Binder. Please subscribe to me there. Twitch.tv/Matt Binder. Also follow me there. I have 2 regular weekly live streams. One is called Doomed. That's usually on Tuesday nights. And that's the politics show where I usually focus on right-wing media, reactionary movements, taking on the white supremacists, neo-Nazis, tackling right-wing misinformation and right-wing conspiracy theories. And then recently moved to Sunday nights is my crypto show, Scam Economy, one of the only 24/7 anti-crypto shows out there. So if you hate cryptocurrency and are looking for the show for you, check out Scam Economy at scameconomy.com and on those channels. And follow me on Twitter at Matt Binder, where you can join me in outing all the OK Groomer conservatives who all happen to be groomers or groomer adjacent themselves.
I'll follow that up. Mike, Illuminati, do you want to take it away?
Do you want to go first, Illuminati?
Sure. Hey, I'm Blair, or the Illuminati, mainly YouTube channel, youtube.com/Illuminati. I upload 3 times a week. I do mainly, I guess, like documentary style videos. So Mondays are going to be multi-level Mondays, where we mainly focus on scams and all sorts of pyramid schemes and other tropes like that. And then Wednesdays and Fridays, we have a show called The Corporate Casket, which is where bad businesses go to die. And we just focus on general corruption of businesses, corporations, individuals, charities, you name it, we do it.
Mike?
I am Mike. You can subscribe on YouTube to The Humanist Report. And yeah, I upload every single day with the exception of Sundays usually. Usually have a couple of videos per day. Yeah, please go and subscribe. We're trying to hit 400K. Not going to happen this year, but that's kind of like the goal for next year. So yeah.
You know what's funny? So many people in my chat have been like, wait, that's the Illuminati? The Illuminati is live right there? I think they thought that like you were a cartoon character or something. Oh, apparently Kanye West, one of his tweets just got deleted. The one with the swastika, as well as, yeah, the Star of David. Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah, that's pretty intense anti-Semitism. Anyway, hey everyone, I should probably plug myself last. I'm Lance of the Serfs. I do dumpster fire comedy, political shit. You can find me at twitch.tv/theserfstv, or you can come to the proprietary webpage at theserfs.tv and find everything from the Patreon to the Discord to the Reddit. Oh, I will plug the Reddit because I actually have something that has nothing to do with me. It's called the Ghoulery. If you go to the Reddit, I'm just trying to stack receipts of all the fucked up shit that right-wingers do. So if you have a right-winger who's like, hey, by the way, I'm not a pedophile, and then it's like, well, actually, Matt Gaetz, this is pretty bad. They put receipts of that online. So come to the Ghoulery. It's a fun time.
Well, this has been fun.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
See you all next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Take care,
Bye.
folks.
Bye, guys.